Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live, huh? And welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names, kicking candy ass, live in a living color here with you tonight, only on Grande's Graveyard. And yes, my friends, tonight we jump into the wonderful time machine. We jump back to the decade that was the 1990s in horror cinema. Yes, I'm very excited here tonight because tonight on Grande's Graveyard, it is back. It is here with a vengeance. It is the Tiermaker of 1990s horror movies. Yes, my friends, I am very excited. I don't know about you, but tonight I decided to shake it up a little bit from the old S, A, B, C, D, F, the whole 9 yards with that. I decided we're going to Grande graveyard it up in this son of a bitch. So we've got at the top, instead of S tonight, we've got the goated tier. The goated tier. These are the best of the best, the creme de la creme, the cream that rises to the top, and the best of the best with no absolute questions at all. And then in the second category, instead of an A, we got valid like salad. If we think it's valid, if we think it's good, if we think it's solid, if we think it's valid like salad, we put it in the valid like salad category. And then in the middle here, we're going to have middle of the road. I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything other better than like mid or anything like that. So I just went with middle of the road, a middle of the road, average, meh, iffy movie. We got the fourth column here, which is just plain old shitty. It's shitty. It's not, there's no sugarcoating it. It's shitty. There's some corn turds on it. It's terrible. It's not even all solids. It's just not good. And then in the bottom category, this purple column is what you want to avoid right here and right now. It is the F/God awful column. It's god awful. If it's god awful, it's going in the bottom column. So we've got 5 columns. We've got about 80 something movies. I think we're not going to go through all 80 movies. We don't have time for 80 movies, but we got at least, what we see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of like 10. Yeah, it's like 12 movies in a row. So it's a little over 80 movies that we're going to talk about here tonight on Grande's Graveyard. So I'm going to want to hear from you guys in the chat. I want to know, obviously, as we go through these movies one by one, what category you're going to want to put them in, right? If it's god awful, if it's shitty, if it's middle of the road, valid like salad, or goated. I want to know your thoughts here in Grande's Graveyard because these shows are very fun. We've done one slasher episode like this where we did slasher movies on the Tiermaker of fun. And tonight I figured we shake it up and we get our 90s horror movie on. So very excited to have you all in the house, and let's see what y'all have to say in the chat before we get into the movies. We got Iron Sabbath 1188. Good old Arthur's in the house. Buzz out those POGs and be kind. Rewind only on the graveyard. I've got a ton of, it's funny, I actually have an entire collection of 90s horror cinema on VHS. That's the era I go to for VHS more so than any. And I don't know why. Maybe because I saw a lot of those growing up on VHS from this particular era. So that's kind of the one I gravitate towards, even though I guess VHS is way more synonymous with the 1980s, 1970s. Because if you look at the 1990s, that was the decade where DVD was invented. I believe DVD came around the corner around, I want to say like 96, 97, somewhere in that ballpark is where DVD came out. But what's going on, Iron Sabbath? Miss C is in the house. Ciao, Grande and Graveyardian friends. Welcome, Miss C. Hope all's well with you. We got Jeff. Down is up. What's going on, Jeff? Evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a great day. How you doing, Grande? Dude, I am doing good. I'm chilling like a villain. I'm chilling here with my Knicks hat on, and I know you represent New York, too. I got my Mothra shirt. I know none of those two things really necessarily have anything to do with the 80s, or the 90s, I should say. I was going to, 90s it up, wear like a visor and a headband and like a flannel, and I was like, at the last second, I was like, I don't really have the attire for this, so I didn't want to, come off with really bad. So I just decided, I was like, fuck it, we'll go Knicks and Mothra. What a combo that'll be. Well, the Mets ever win another game. In fact, they won last night somehow, some way, and broke the 12-game losing streak. And apparently they're up big right now. So it may just be 2 in a row. And as you all know, the movie Major League, if you win tomorrow, it's called a winning streak. It has happened before. We love that movie. We love that line. Let's see. The Love Machine. Oh, my God. Mark's in the house. Can't believe the draft is in Schittsburg. But, buddy, what the hell you got against Schittsburg? What do you got against Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's one of my favorite towns in the whole wide world. I think you're bugging, my friend. I think you're bugging. Pittsburgh is a beautiful town. What's up, fellow Graveyardians? What's up, Mark? Hope all's well with you. Goated like it's 1999. Yes, goated like it's 99. Hell yeah. Hey, everyone. Hey, Grande. Hey, Iron. Hey, Miss C. Hey, Down is up. Hey, Love Machine. Triple H, 1985. Horrorhead. Heather's in the house. Hey, what's up, Grande? Who do you think the Steelers? I think the Steelers are going to go offensive lineman. As far as which lineman, it would really only remain to be seen as to who's there at the time as their pick. And I think their pick is number 21. So I don't know. I guess it's definitely going to be somebody in the offensive line world. I think they're going to wait on a safety till a later round. They got 12 picks in the draft, which is the most. So it'll be interesting to see. But you got to tackle O-line. You got to get another wideout. You got to get a safety. Like there's a lot of needs that team needs addressed. And I think offensive line is the main one you want to address. You want to make sure you'll be able to run the ball next year as effectively as possible. And getting a good defensive or offensive guard, I should say, is the first step in doing that. We got Ryan Hitman Hanley. What's up, Grande? What's up, Ryan? Hope all's well with you, buddy. All that in a bag of potato chips. Hell yeah. A belated birthday to John. Happy belated to John Waters. Absolutely happy birthday to John Waters. Ciao, Grande. Ready for some good 90s horror? Hi to the whole graveyard. Welcome, my friend. Hope all's well with you. Hello, graveyard. Ghostface Brett. Well, hey, appropriately, Ghostface Brett is here with the Ghostface emblem and Scream and the representing of all that. We will be talking about Scream 1 and Scream 2. I do believe they're both on here. And cool enough, I came out the same week as Scream. So me and Scream, we share the same birth week. It's pretty cool. Tom is here. Hello, John and Graveyard. What's going on, Tom? Hope all is well with you, man. It's been good to see you. It's been a while, my friend. Hope all is well with you. I saw you were super stoked for the new movie from the director that did Oddity. I saw you post that, and I was like, holy shit, that's going to have a ton of buzz. So I'm interested to see that as well. We got Anthony Chabot. Yo, buddy, let's go Knicks. I got it into an internship program. Well, congratulations, my friend. I hope all is well. And yes, go Knicks, even though I think they were losing too. I'm a Cowboys fan, Grande. I have to hate Pittsburgh. Buddy, but you're shitting on the town, or do you hate the town, or you just don't like the Steelers? That's two different fucking things, my friend, because the town of Pittsburgh is really nice. I think you're bugging there. And granted, I don't like the Dallas Cowboys either, but I won't shit on Dallas. I've never been to Dallas. But will the Steelers wheel out the corpse of Aaron Rodgers again? I think so. I definitely think so. I think Aaron Rodgers will be back. I definitely think Aaron Rodgers will be back. I'm like 99% sure he'll be back. We'll see. That hat is bigger than your fucking head in Tommy from Goodfellas voice. Oh boy. Well, I think it's just because of the glasses. It just makes it look so big. But yeah, no. Welcome AJ Zetro. He's a Chicago Bulls fan. That's why he's upset. No, he's not. He doesn't even watch basketball. Say Mark DC4L. Okay, you got some Dallas fans. 90s mainstream horror was rough for me. ... Soft. All right. Well, we'll determine if the 90s horror was soft or not, because as an era as a whole, it seems like at the time it was looked at this big, oh man, what a terrible decade. What a step back for the genre coming off of the 1970s, 1980s, and even the 60s for that matter. And there's no doubt that at the time that was the only way to perceive it. But as the time has passed, as the years have gone on, it's kind of crazy to see how nostalgic and how much I look more at this particular era, how much I look fondly upon it as time has gone on. And tonight we're going to go through 1990s horror movies, which should be fun. Repping the Stars hat tonight, Dallas Star. All right, we got a lot of Dallas. I didn't realize we had so many Dallas fans in John Grande's graveyard here. So welcome. I know we got a ton of Canadians. I know we got a ton of Mother Canuckers. I know we got some people from the UK. Hell, we got somebody watching from Portugal. So I'm a Penguins fan. We don't talk about that. Well, hey, it's all right. We still love Pittsburgh as a city. We got Don Nice, yo, Triple P, Mr. Horror Lover. What's going on, Don? Hey, man, your Dodgers beat my Mets so damn bad, I was embarrassed to ask you about how you thought it went. But my God, y'all beat the hell out. You beat the brakes off of us. But yeah, no, we finally won a game. One out of the last 13, buddy. One a day keeps the doctor away. Very good point, because I'm a Romero fan, so I just hate the Steelers. Yeah, that's one thing. Hating the town, I think you're crazy. Grant, I heard some guy going off on the radio. He's like, oh, Philadelphia is so much nicer of a town than Pittsburgh. I'm like, buddy, I have been to both several times. There is no comparison. Pittsburgh is a nicer town than fucking Philadelphia. That's unbiased too, saying that. Like, I have been to both towns enough times. I do love me a cheesesteak over a fucking Primanti's, but that's where the fucking positive stop for Philadelphia. That is a true shithole, in my opinion. Hi, Grande and Graveyard Peeps. Welcome, Michelle, all the way from Nova Scotia. What? The Baby Scream and Baby Grande same week? That's true. It's the truth. Scream comes out December 20th, 96. I came out December 23rd of 96. We're about 3 or 4 days apart. Just a measly few hours apart, me and Scream. The 90s wasn't nearly as strong as the 80s for mainstream horror, but it was a great era for B horror. and it's still stronger than any decade since. Interesting. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I'm with that. The 2000 to 2009 has some good stuff in it too. But I hear the point. I definitely hear the point. It's definitely better than the decade we're currently in. But then again, who knows? Maybe in 2050 I'll feel differently and I'll feel nostalgic for this decade. Time will tell. Time always tells. But everybody, I hope you're having a safe, happy, healthy weekend. We're about 10 minutes in. Let's get underway with the 90s horror movie Tiermaker. Once again, 5 categories. We got a ton of freaking movies on here. We've got Goated, which is the best of the best. Valid like Salad, which is like an A. Middle of the Road, which is like middle of the road, B, C tier. Shitty, which is like D tier. And then God Awful, which is F/worst you've ever seen tier. So let's get underway. Here we go. Oh, yes. The first movie on the chopping block from the year 1991, and legendary writer-director Wes Craven. May he rest in peace till we all get there. I'm talking about The People Under the Stairs. It's The People Under the Stairs, which I've always been a big fan of this movie. And this was a part of Wes Craven's deal with Alive Films, where he made the 3-picture deal. It was The Serpent and the Rainbow, it was Shocker, and it was The People Under the Stairs. And the first two didn't do too well financially, but it was this third movie that kind of struck a nerve and made a little bit of money at the box office, despite coming out in 1991, which was a rather dead year for the genre. And I adore this movie. This is, of course, coming off the heels of a movie like Home Alone, which made all the money in the world in 1990 and turned a lot of heads and made a shit ton of money. A little movie that could, if you will, a movie that had legs and ran and ran and ran. And then you have a movie that I consider to be horror movies version of Home Alone, where you, instead of having the two, Harry and Marv, breaking into the little kid's house, here we have Brandon Adams of the Mighty Ducks fame, of The Sandlot, of so many good movies. I really like Brandon Adams. And Ving Rhames, pre-Pulp Fiction Ving Rhames. I'm going to get medieval on his ass. They break into their landlord's house, which is this horrible couple played by Wendy Roby and Everett McGill, mommy and daddy, if you will, but they're really brother and sister. And they're racist and they're horrible and they're evil and they're, oh God, they're the worst type of worst dudes you want to meet. And their big gimmick is they're looking for the perfect child. And thus they've tried all of these boys. None of them have worked out. They've either spoken, seen, or heard evil. And thus these things are taken away from them, right? If they said anything wrong, they had their tongues cut out. If they saw anything they weren't supposed to see, the eyes went out, or, they were made to be, hearing impaired if they heard any evil. And then it comes down to, they try with a girl, and then Brandon Adams kind of breaks into their house, and it's a whole kind of fun movie. Instead of let's get the villains out of our house, it's let's get the heroes out of the house with the fortune in order to pay off because the kid's mom is sick with cancer at home. To me, it's great. It's to me, Wes Craven 101, because A, number one, it had a message, but B, it had a specific way of delivering it that wasn't pushed in your face or agenda driven. It's still an entertaining movie on its own 2 legs. Wendy Roby, I think, is tremendous in this movie. And next week, when we talk about overrated versus underrated, there's a movie that is going to be on the overrated pile that may have had an actress win Best Actress this year at the Academy Awards, just saying, that I think she's just as good, if not better, than that particular performance. Where was Wendy's recognition? Where was Wendy's love and accolades and roses and things like that? She doesn't get that, but I think she's tremendous here. I think the booby traps of the movie, I think the message and the whole, I'll blow you sky high, but like, it's a great movie. It's got such a great soul and heart to it. And I don't know, I've always been a big fan of The People Under the Stairs, but I'm curious what you guys have to say, as I'll minimize myself and I'll get to the chat here. What do you guys think of The People Under the Stairs, or what category would you put it in here tonight on Grande's Graveyard? People Under the Stairs, shitty, fell asleep at the theater. All right, fair enough. One for shitty. Before Scream, it seems the most horror movies were suspenseful thrillers. Some of them had a fatal attraction, like The Crush, right with chick from Clueless, I can't think, Alicia Silverstone, single white female. Sure, yeah, they definitely had a lot more suspense / thrillers. Movies like Pacific Heights, even. People saying hi. I watched The People Under the Stairs once and that's because it's a 5 out of 10, which is the worst. Okay, so 5 out of 10 is the worst for you. So which category? Does it go god awful, or does it go middle of the road? Like, where are you at there? Yep, those people should have stayed under the stairs. Shitty, Serpent and the Rainbow, so much better. Wow, so 3 shitties, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see People / Stairs. I didn't see it when it came out, but I immediately bought it on DVD after watching it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so not too many thoughts so far on People on the Stairs. I hate to break it to y'all. I really like this movie. I'm gonna say easily invalid like salad. I think this is a valid movie. I think it's one of Wes Craven's better movies after his proverbial prime, if you will. It's funny. Like you look at Wes, you look at his career after the Nightmare on Elm Street success. He distanced himself. He didn't like the script for the second movie. So then the stuff that he go on to make, I think he kind of hit a rough patch for a little while, like Deadly Friend. Not a great movie. Freaking Serpent in the Rainbow, good movie. Shocker, so fun and silly and over the top that I enjoy it, but I could totally see how somebody would not like Shocker. It's 80s cheese and it's stinking something different, but to me in a good way. I like Shocker. No More Mr. Nice Guy. Horace Pinker and Mitch Pileggi. I have fun with Shocker, but I think The People Under the Stairs is even better. Like I just really like The People Under the Stairs. I think this is a really good ahead of its time horror movie. In my humble opinion. Wishmaster number one. We do love the Wishmaster here as Mark Murphy checks in. It's mediocre, so middle of the road. Never saw more than a few parts of this flick, so I can't really help on this one. Okay. It is what I wish. Okay. Puts is mid. Oh, People on the Stairs is mid. Okay. I have not seen People on the Stairs yet. Okay. Hey, no problem. No problem at all. No problem. I'm in the minority on this one. It happens. It happens sometimes. But let's move on to the next movie here, which came out the year prior. This was the third of the legendary fabled Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and I know that Whopper Horror is a darling of this one. He loves this movie. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Leatherface. The Saw is family. Another unpopular opinion. I always kind of like this sequel. We got Ken Foray from Dawn of the Dead fame. We've got Kate Hodge, who I'd say would be my second favorite final girl of the entire series. We got Viggo Mortensen in an early role. We have R.A. Meeloff as Leatherface. I think Jet Burr did what he could as the director. I know there was a lot of stories. They fired him at a point, then their replacement didn't work out, so they hired him immediately back. And a lot of bullshit, a lot of tomatoes were thrown the way of Jet Burr, and he went through hell making this movie, and may he rest in peace too. I don't know. Like, this is a movie that I've always thought was entertaining enough. Like, listen, coming off the first movie, there was never a way to recapture that magic. Like, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me is the most lightning in a bottle movie ever made. It was that group, it was that cast, it was that budget, that place, that time. It was something that they fell into organically. The second movie, Toby knew you can't recapture that. That's magic. That's lightning in a bottle. We have to make it a black comedy. We have to bring in somebody like a Dennis Hopper, somebody who's established, someone who can really kind of make this funny. And I think the second movie is really funny. It's not my favorite of the bunch. I don't love it like most people. We went over it on the 1986 show with AJ Zetro, if you haven't caught that episode. But I mean, they did the right thing in the long run. That was the right direction to take the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise at that time. So what do you do with part three? What if you do when you're past the ball of part three? Do you continue down that road, or do you try to go back to something serious and something eerie and something that feels like Grindhouse Texas horror, exploitation horror? And that's the road they decided to take. Now, I know a lot of people find it bland. They hate the acting. They hate the characters. They hate the setup. They hate that the movie's so cut down. And listen, this was a movie that was a huge victim of the MPAA. They cut this movie to shreds, not unlike this movie right behind me, but that was 1989. But this was around the time that the MPAA was just going off. I mean, the Friday the 13th Part 7 got butchered. Sleepaway Camp 3 got butchered. Texas Chainsaw 3 got butchered by the MPAA. And you have a movie called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You have a movie coming to theatrical, and there's really no blood or gore in the film. I can understand why people are angry with this effort even to this day. Now, I'm one that I don't ever mind it. I like Ken Foray. Are you really a veteran? Only on the weekends. And the whole, yeah, come on, where Kate Hodge kind of loses her mind at the end, and like they go, Ken Foray survived somehow after clearly being killed. Like, I don't know, I never hated this movie. Like, I get it. It's rough around the edges. It does the little things wrong. But in this franchise, you get a lot fucking worse than this. I would watch this 30 million times over the remake. I would watch this 40 million times over the Netflix one. I would watch this $50 million. Who you think you got kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton? 50 million times over that fucking piece of shit Leatherface from the directors of Inside. How do you fucking reach that level of incompetence after making a French fucking New Extremity classic? It's just absurd. I'll take this movie over those movies 10 times a fucking day, twice a Sunday. Get the fuck out of here. But I'm curious what you all have to say. What do we have to say in the comments on this one? Because I know this one is one that people fucking hate. Part 3, middle A. Okay, so you're going middle to an A. All right, that's fine. God awful in all caps. I wanted Jeff Burr gone before it happened in real life. Oh my God, that's terrible. R.I.P. Jeff Burr. I want my name off the fucking movie. Oh God. Whopper Horror is cracking up. Part 3 was mid for me. Picture always looks so dark. TCM is okay, middle of the road. So a lot of you saying middle of the road. Wish you could cut the video of. Oh my God, yes. His review of this is priceless, man. He's like, it seems to make no sense. Oh man, Brandon's review is funny as hell. TCM3 is a bit underrated. Great soundtrack, great cast, great Leatherface. I think it was the first TCM that wasn't esoteric and could appeal to a wider audience. And that's what they tried to do. You got to keep in mind what the direction of the genre was at this time, right? Like Freddy was about to be dead. The following year, Freddy's Dead comes out. Jason was about to go to hell, which we're actually going to talk about fairly shortly. That's right here coming up. Michael Myers was in limbo, was in purgatory by this point. So what a lot of these companies did, a la Miramax, a la New Line, a la whatever the hell company you want to pick at that time that was trying to pick and distribute horror cinema, they were picking it up and saying, hey, we got to make a new icon, a new slasher villain out of this. And they tried it with Pinhead with Hellraiser 3, which I'm not sure if is on here. It might be discussed tonight. That's something they tried there. Didn't really draw this mainstream success. Same with this. They tried to here with Leatherface, tried to make him the whole fucking show. Didn't really draw mainstream success. I get what they did. And I myself, even with 2020 being hindsight, despite the fact that these movies were not successful, I would have done the same fucking thing, because that to me would have made the most sense, even with hindsight being 2020, even with the advantage of being a Monday night quarterback 30 years after the fact. That's kind of how I look at the matter. But do I blame them for trying that? No, because I think that only made sense. $60 million. Who you think I'm going to watch? Texas Chainsaw The Next Generation? Which we're going to be discussing. The Next Generation will be discussed here tonight. I watched TCM3 over Netflix horse ass movie. Same. I don't, like, to me, like, people say this is the worst one. I think you are insane. Like, I really do. Like, I can see not liking it. The worst of this franchise, I think you're on drugs that you should get your freaking head examined. TCM3 is entertaining, guilty pleasure. I'm with you. Leatherface 2017, one masterpiece. Yeah, see that? Like, to me, I'll take Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 30 million times over Texas Chainsaw, whatever, Leatherface 07. I like TCM3. It's got one of my favorites in it, Mr. Ken Foray. Always good to see Ken Foray in movies. Let's see. I'd say it's mid-tier. All right, everyone's going mid-tier. Freddy was yet to be fingered. That's true. I need more Grande's Whopper impression. Oh, God. It seems to make no sense. He gets his head cut in half by a chainsaw, and he's alive at the end of the movie. And then Brandon Fashion, he was always grabbing his feet and shit and going crazy. And, oh, my God, man, Brandon is a one-on-one, man. There's nobody. That guy is fun to watch. He tortures himself watching Tubi all the time. I don't know why he does it. He's like, I'm sitting here in the middle of the woods. I'm watching this movie on Tubi. Like, holy shit. Netflix movie always angers me, and I rather watch TCM as good sequel. I was primarily butchered by MPA of America. Absolutely, they were. That's the truth. Gonna piss people off here, too. I don't mind this movie at all. I'm leaning middle of the road to Val Like Salad. I think it's Val Like Salad. I like this movie. I never hated Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I don't mind it at all. Which brings us to a controversial one. The Army of Darkness. Evil Dead Part 3, technically, despite dropping the Evil Dead name. And of course, we have Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell coming back to finish off the Evil Dead trilogy. And what better way to do it than to go to medieval times, than to go to something we hadn't seen before, something that wasn't a cabin in the woods now. Instead, we kind of shook up the setting and we kept the same kind of tongue-in-cheek humor that Evil Dead Part 2 had. And there's something about this movie that's really, really likable. I mean, Bruce Campbell is just amazing in this. I think Bruce Campbell is so likable and so funny and so charismatic and colorful in this role. I think he's great. I really like Beth David as the love interest in the movie. You might remember her from a little movie called Matilda. She plays the likable teacher in Matilda. Really, just a wild, out there, bizarre movie. But to me, it's so believing in and of its own craziness and wackiness that you can't help but love it. Like, there's something about this movie that I just love. Something about it. Like, Sam Raimi's direction by this point was just so like above and beyond where, a lot of filmmakers were at this time. And I just really liked what he brought to the table with this. I don't know, like this, it's so freaking funny too. And the physical comedy from Bruce Campbell and the facial expressions and the crazy third act of all this shit hitting the fan, and you were a lot better looking before, baby. And hail the king, baby. I don't know. The humor in this one, this might be the funniest of the three. Like, I think this movie's humor is tremendous. I honestly got no hesitation. This is goated for me. I really like Army of Darkness. To me, it's a great 90s movie. I know some people would say, oh, is it really horror? Is it really not? Like, I know there's that argument to it because it's not as overt in its horror as Evil Dead 1 and 2, but I think it's a fucking damn good movie. I really like this movie. Let's see what y'all have to say, though, in the chat. Let's see. Thank you, Grande. TCM3 kicks ass. No hating on the great Tubi. They put all Ben 10 and classic Doctor Who on. Hell yeah. No hate on Tubi at all. Brandon watches stuff on Tubi to torture himself. Grande, what did you think of the teaser for that new Evil Dead movie? Buddy, I'm so like Evil Dead, the remake, and Evil Dead Fries, that piece of shit. No, Evil Dead is dead. It died. It's over. It was a good run. You had 3 really good movies, and the TV show wasn't terrible, but that's about it. Hail the king, baby. Yes, Bruce Campbell, and I hope he's doing well. I know he got diagnosed with cancer, sadly. It's valid. I've seen it 126 times, and it's valid. Okay, it's fair enough. Val like salad. I love all the versions of Army of Darkness. Yeah, Army of Darkness is just too likable. AOD is goated. Awesome time seeing this in the show back in the day. Yes, you actually met Bruce Campbell right around this time, right? There's the great picture of AJ Zitro and Bruce Campbell together at the con. He's choking AJ out. It's a great picture. Not cold, Medieval Dead, 0 out of 10. Everything else, it's peak Raimi. Okay, Army is salad. I loved the Harryhausen stop motion stuff, which yeah, and that was such a cool throwback. I'm happy you mentioned that. The Harryhausen, like Ray Harryhausen was a legend in the 1950s and all that type of stop motions, special makeup effects and things like that. Like, holy shit, man! To bring that back here and to do it just as good and to kind of tip your hat at the same time was really that's Sam Raimi 101. Like, that's what I really like about Sam. You could see how much of a fan he is of film while you watch his films. Army of Darkness, used to hate this movie, but rewatching it after seeing the new one, I now enjoy it. See, like a lot of people hate this one. I don't really get it. I think there's really nothing to dislike there. I think it's great. Which ending do I like better? I would say the theatrical ending. Like, I love to me, the ending of them in the store and then, he grabbing the gun and hail the king, baby. Like, that to me is an iconic ending, but it's silly. I know it's silly. I've only seen Army of Darkness once and I wasn't a fan. I like more serious Evil Dead movies. I will say mid. It wasn't fully shitty. I mean, I love the original is my favorite of the 3. I think the original is the best because it's the gold standard for independent horror cinema throughout the history of time. I mean, every fucking independent horror movie that has come since wishes it could be as innovative, as creative, as wild, as batshit, as crazy as Evil Dead, while at the same time being so good with a crowd. You could watch Evil Dead 1 with friends. You could watch it with family. It's just such a well-rounded horror movie from top to bottom. And then the second one, it's like, let's do the same thing. Let's remake it, but with this comedic spin on it. And it gives the movie such a great charm. You could taste the blood coming off the screen. And then that's why this is such a horse of a different colors, because we changed the setting. We changed this, we changed that. Yet the movie kept its charm from the second movie. And I think just dialed it up to 11. I don't know. I love Army of Darkness. I think it's a great movie. Army of Darkness is awesome. Up on top for me. Iconic 90s movie. Yeah, I'm completely there. Army of Darkness is such a fun movie. Val like Sal for sure. Ma'am, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store. Yes, that's classic, man. The movie has that Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court vibe. Yes. Army is Closet of the Dead movies to the Ash versus series. Oh, I'm sorry. Army is the closest of the Dead movies to the Ash versus series. Yes, it is, totally. Because I mean, they're working in the store in that series too. Army of Darkness equals valid like salad. Okay. I liked Army of Darkness, give it 5 stars. Stop motion is an art form. Yeah, no, and it's, it's crazy how it's kind of died out. And granted, I loved the movie Stop Motion just from a couple years ago. That's one of my favorite horror movies of the past few years. Lee Cronin doesn't think Evil Dead is dead. He just called his new Dead movie The Mummy. Oh, did he? I didn't see The Mummy yet, but I only heard it was fucking terrible. And I had the guy from Midsommar in it, which made me want to see it even less. So let's move on, though. Let's move on. Oh, man, into one of the all-time best. Come on, man. From 1992, the legendary, the late, great Tony Todd is the Candyman. Yes, Candyman from 1992. Easily the best horror movie that came out that particular year of the 1990s, and a horror movie that, to me, is an all-time urban legend classic. A movie that was adapted from the short story of Clive Barker, and Clive is, absolutely a horror legend, a horror icon in and of his own right. But I thought the director always deserved some credit as well. I believe Bernard Rose was his name, and he was the one that came up with the whole idea of the backstory and the idea of playing the racial element into it. And to me, one of the all-time great scenes of this movie is the little kid telling the story to, Madsen, what's her name? Freaking, is it Heather Madsen? Something, whatever the hell her damn name is. Madsen, Virginia Madsen it is. Heather Madsen, Jesus. Long week. Virginia Madsen, he's telling her the story of how the kid went into the porta potty and how, when you lose that, you're better off dead. Like, always loved how that was told. The great score of the overhead shots of Cabrini Green, that great musical score, that hauntingness to it. And to me, the greatness of Tony Todd and how seriously he took this role and brought somehow, some way, a sort of universal monsters respect to a character like the Candyman, right? I mean, we had been a long ways away from the 1930s and the 1940s and your Lon Chaney Juniors of the world and your Belas and your Boris Karloffs of the world and your Man of a Thousand Faces, right? We were so far removed from that, yet he brought that type of presence to a movie that was made in 1992 with such a gothic approach and a romantic approach. Helen, it was always you, Helen, be my victim. I don't know. I friggin' love how he plays this role. Like, he is so good in the part, and I think that this was the part that Tony was born to play. And Tony did a lot of great things, there's no doubt, a ton of credits over his illustrious career. But the one that we all remember and the one that always comes to mind for people for good reason is this particular performance. I think the direction is outstanding. I think it's scary when it has to be. I love the beginning. We were talking about Sam Raimi. What about the beginning with Ted Raimi and the whole way that the story is being told and stuff like that? I don't know. The scope of this movie, really, really good. Visuals. I'm sorry. Candyman's goated. Like, I fucking love the Candyman. Like, to me, Candyman is an absolute top tier 1990s horror movie from top to bottom. I just think it's great. There's really no flaw in it. Maybe aside from the ending. I would say the ending is maybe it's my only gripe is kind of how it ends, but I kind of like that it ends where she's going to be the next killer. And hey, I mean, compared to some of the shit ass fucking sequels we got, yeah, it's a lot better than those. But let's see what y'all have to say about Candyman. Be my victim, R.I.P. Tony Todd. Yeah, absolutely, R.I.P. Tony Todd. Candyman equals goated. Okay, Candyman is a very classic, absolutely. Here it comes. ... Whopper Horror speaks. I've never been a fan. Hey, there's quite a few people I know that are not a fan. Would you care to expand why? I don't want to know you don't like it. I want to know why you don't like it. Share with me, my friend. It's a safe floor. Awesome movie. I love the South Park parody, Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls. Yes, do not say Candyman in the mirror. Do not say Biggie Smalls in the mirror. Candyman is very underrated. Yes, totally. I think Candyman is an all-time great movie. You know how I feel about Candyman. Goated. All caps. Hell yes. Candyman, goat. All right, so we all seem in the same ballpark on this one. Candyman made me hold my shit in for almost a whole day after seeing it when I was young. Dr. Howdy 6664 is in here with a zinger as always. Welcome, my friend. The music by Philip Glass is so suspenseful. He even added a very haunting music score in some of the versions of the 1931 Dracula. And maybe that's why I get that whole vibe of the Universal monster approach from Tony. He's great here. That scene with the flashback always messed me up when I was younger. Yeah, it's great. Heather Madison would be an excellent name too, right? I don't know why my brain was like, it's Heather Madison. I was like, it is definitely not. Candyman is a classic. It has the vibe of its own. It really does. And that's the thing, like, to me, the sequels miss so much. Despite, I know some people like the sequels. I don't. I think you're crazy. Like, all of them are bad. Like, to me, like, the first one it's just above and beyond. The second one, they go to New Orleans and it's the fucking Bourbon Street. But fuck you. Fuck the crawfish. I love crawfish, but go fuck that. I hate that fucking movie. That might be on here too. So we might, spoiler alert, it's shitty or worse. Eddie Murphy was supposed to play him. I'm not making that up. I've heard that story. I've never heard Eddie talk about it specifically, but I've heard that his name was pitched around for it, which would have been interesting, would have been incredible. Really, see, I don't think anybody but Tony. Like, to me, Tony Todd was absolutely the only choice. Agree, love Tony and Candyman. Yes, me too. Basically the same role in Vampire in Brooklyn, that's a piece of shit from the 90s. The first Clive Barker movie on your list, top tier, definitely. I'm with that. Whopper dead ass. I read it somewhere before. Candyman 2 rules? No. Oh man, Candyman 2 is absolutely horrible. I can't even watch Candyman 2. Yet another movie that I did not see, that did not need a revamp. It didn't need sequels. It didn't need a revamp, but I get why they tried it. Again, you look at the state of the genre at the time. Fuck it, let's make Candyman the next Freddy. Why not? And they tried with the Farewell to Flesh, and it went horribly wrong. And then they tried it with the one with fucking Donna D'Errico, and then that was it. That was it until they decided to remake it and make it political, which fucking beats me. Candyman is goated. It made Tony Todd a star. Be my victim. Love it. It's boring, slow, uninteresting. Great music, great acting from Tony and Virginia, and overall well made. But do I like it or find it entertaining? Nah. Well, I appreciate you explaining yourself. That's totally fine. I think it's a fair take, and I'm happy that you at least like the music and the acting, because I'm right there with you. Whopper holding Anthropophagus telling me he didn't like Candyman. Yeah, it's a pretty accurate. Yeah. No one tell Grande the original was political. Don't get me wrong. There are politics in the original film as well. But again, big difference between then and now, at least with this particular movie versus the remake. I think it's there, but we still are focusing on having a scary horror movie and telling a compelling story about someone that was wrongfully killed all these years ago and comes back. Whereas the remake, I thought it was just completely a political statement movie, and it didn't bother at all to put horror in their horror movie, especially from the extroverted way. I mean, I just thought they completely dropped the ball with it. I do not like that remake. Do not care for it. Not my cup of tea. 2 hours of Tony Todd is never a bad thing, in my opinion, no matter how bad the movie might be. Fair enough. Granted, Tony did make some stinkers. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, or I guess honeycoat it in this case. Yeah, Candyman goes in the goated category. Well, here's one that ain't going to change categories. From 1993, and director Adam Marcus, Friday the 13th, The Final Friday, a.k.a. known as Jason Goes to Hell. Yes, Jason Goes to Hell. Holy shit. This is one of the biggest pieces of shit ever. It's the worst Friday the 13th movie. I don't care. I know people say, oh, it has good practical effects. It's Nicotero and Berger and Kurtzman. Great. That's great. That's fucking great. You want me to golf clap? You want me to fucking do it? You want me to do a little fucking Marianne? What do you want me to do? Yeah, it has one good kill scene where the lady gets split in half. Does that make this a good movie? A movie where they trap Jason with the fucking military, with the fucking Navy, with this fucking lady wearing a fucking Mets hat in the middle of the fucking Crystal Lake. Jason comes out, gets blown up to smithereens. Then this dumbass mortician who played the fucking manager of the heel in Rocky V decides to eat Jason's heart. And then the movie becomes The Hidden. It's a body jumping movie. Oh my God. We have a bunch of dumbasses running a diner that make cheeseburgers shaped like Jason's mask. And then we have a bunch of fucking idiots. I'm Creighton Duke. I'm the only one that knows the way. When I think of Jason Voorhees, I think of a fucking little girl in a pink dress throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Are you fucking kidding me? And now, out of nowhere, you see over there? You see nowhere? It's out of nowhere. And now all of a sudden, this is a cult classic, and this is misunderstood. And Adam Marcus was a 21-year-old genius and blew all of our fucking skirts up, and we just didn't realize it until 30 years later. It sucked then. It sucks now. It forever sucks. It's a piece of dog shit. I hate this movie. Absolutely hate it. Unbridledly hate this movie. You gave the keys to the car to an idiot who didn't know how to drive. You gave the keys to the car and told him put it in reverse, and he drove onto the fucking sidewalk. This is a disgrace of a film. It's the worst Friday the 13th movie, and he can defend it all he wants. People can defend it all they want. I bought the documentary. It's misunderstood. I don't give a shit. It stinks, and it ain't moving. It ain't moving at all because Jason Goes to Hell is a bunch of shit. That's it. That's it. That's right then and there. That's what it is. All right. Let's see what you'll have to say, though. The political part of Candyman is subtext. Big surprise. Remake, reboot, trash heap fails. Yes, exactly, because it made it the context. Go to Hell, underrated mid, had fun with it. What? Jesus. You fall asleep during the people under the stairs, buddy. This is the true cure for insomnia. That Candyman reboot semi-sequel was god-awful. There was a political element in the original, but the reboot, exactly. It was all message. There wasn't any attempt to tell a horror movie. It almost felt like halfway through that movie, they were like, wait a minute, we don't have any horror in it. We haven't shown anybody get killed yet, so let's do that. Horrible. Jason has so many vibes to the, yes, yeah, it does, and those are better movies than it. Jason Goes to Hell is god-awful. My least favorite Friday movie. See, Triple H, this is why we're on the same page. Adam Marcus should have had a court-martial appointment in 93. Oh, no. See, I can hear Wobber right now in his head going, I don't know what they gave Adam Marcus for directing this movie, but it should have been 3 to 5 years. Marshmallow Jason. Oh, geez, this is a bad one. OMG, Jason Goes to Hell is the only throat goat. Don't get me started on this piece of crap. All right. Jason Goes to Hell is mid to me. It's interesting because that movie came out, everyone loved it, and people have grown to hate it over time. See, I always thought it was the other way around. For my entire youth, this was a piece of shit. Now, all of a sudden, people are like, wait a minute, this is a really good movie. We just didn't understand it. Like, buddy, no. But I would totally eat a Voorhees burger. I would eat one too, but Jesus Christ, this movie is terrible. Jason Goes to Hell can go to hell. The one Friday the 13th I won't rewatch. Yeah, I'm there too. I never rewatched this movie. It's so fucking bad. The movie has many references to horror movies like The Jungle Gym. Yeah, well, those were better movies than this, man. Well, now came in a good time. LOL only. Black Love Reviews is here. I don't think Grande likes this movie. Go figure. Go figure. Gilbert was coming out in that rant. Jason Goes to Hell is a bunch of shit. Let's see. I will never get past the New Line getting the rights to the biggest horror franchise possible, and this was what they decided to be their first film. Dude, it's so true. It's so true. I know that you hate the Friday the 13th TV series, this movie. I don't hate the Friday the 13th movie series, TV series as much as this. This is a piece of shit. I did like Candyman, and a lot of people don't. It's fine. Ed is in the house, so to be clear, you don't like Jason Goes to Hell. It is bad. Yeah, it is bad. The actress who plays Jason's sister, Erin Gray. Yeah, after 9 movies, Jason has a sister. Get the fuck out of here. I hate this movie. Not it. Oh, boy. Moving on to one we could skip over pretty quickly. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. The first Pumpkinhead is... I like it. I like Lance Henriksen. I like the direction. I like the setup. I almost like the setup of Pumpkinhead better than the payoff. There's not as much payoff as I'd want in the original Pumpkinhead. However, it's a lot better than this, and in steps our good friend, Mr. Jeff Burr. Jeff Burr is back, baby. All caps. Jeff Burr joint, Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. And it's not to be confused with Pumpkinhead Trapped Ashes, or I think there's 4 Pumpkinhead movies, but the only one you should ever watch is the first one. This is terrible, too. I don't know if it's god-awful because I saw it once, and I don't remember it being one of the worst things I've ever seen. So for that matter, we go shitty. We go shitty for Pumpkinhead 2. I don't remember it enough to really put it in the god-awful. Like, god-awful is for ones that left a scar, that like it's still healing after all this time. Let's see what you guys have to say, though. I'm curious. Terrible movie, maybe the worst of the franchise. I agree. Cunningham and Miller can't get along. Can't blame them. Yeah, I mean, Jeff Burr is back. Friday the 13th unit. It's over money. These 2 idiots can't get along, and that's how you get Hell and X. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I have only seen the first Pumpkinhead movies. Need to watch the sequels. No, you don't. No, you don't. I actually like Pumpkinhead 2. Please don't hate me. I don't hate you. No, I honestly don't remember the movie that much. Like that. This is the thing when you do show prep with this. There's really no show prep you could do to prepare for this many movies. It's like this impossible. So you just have to kind of go off memory with a show like this. And so going off my memory, I remember it being kind of shitty. Given it shitty, but not a truly god awful. Yeah, I'm there. That's exactly where I'm at. Pumpkinhead 2, only 3 words. Oh, Soylent Moon Fry. Yes, she is a beautiful lady. Haven't seen Pumpkinhead 2 since I was a kid. Got to revisit it soon. Blood Wings was a childhood staple, so it rules in my eyes. Okay. I love the horror movie Witches, Angelica Houston, which they remade. They remade that with Anne Hathaway, I think. There hasn't been a good Pumpkinhead since the first one. Second one was better than the rest, so it goes in the shitty pile. Okay, so we're on the same boat. This is not one we have to spend too much time on. It just goes in the shitty. And now, oh boy, look who it is. It's Mr. Lucio Fulci. Cat in the Brain. This is a weird one. This is kind of meta, where Lucio Fulci sort of plays himself. And my God, this is a hard movie to explain. I don't even know where to start with this. Like, it's basically a gore highlight reel of other movies that Fulci did, other things that Fulci did, interspliced without a movie where he's playing himself. And there's the scene with the little tricycle and the kid gets fucking chainsawed in half. Like that shit, some of that shit's really funny to this day. This is one that's like, I consider it sort of so bad it's kind of funny in a way. Like it's better than stuff like Demonia. It's better than stuff like that he was making towards the end of his career. I guess Zombie 3, despite I know that he didn't complete that film. That was a movie that he left. Fulci, let's face it. I mean, it was really he was fading at this point, not just physically, but obviously his films were. I mean, he didn't have any money to make movies at this time, but I always appreciated how kind of zany and weird this movie was. I don't know, like there's something about it. Cat in the Brain is the middle of the road. I don't hate it. It's not shitty. It is shitty, but it has a charm, so that bumps it up to the middle of the road for me. Let's see what y'all have to say, though, in the comments. Where were we? I love the Cat in the Brain. All right. I have never seen or heard of this before. Okay. Really, finally some Fulci, mid but fun. Okay. Cat in the Brain, it's like a mixtape. That's a good way to describe it. It is. It's like a mixtape of like, it's like Fulci's average hits. Instead of usually it's so-and-so's greatest hits, this is Fulci's average hits. Never seen or heard of this movie. We'll have to look it up. It's a fucking mess. I think Miss C would like it. It has that so bad it's funny charm. Middle of the road. I'm with you. Cat in the Brain was not good. I love Fulci, but it's not good. Yeah, that unfortunately, that was really a big theme of the end of his career. Like after he got sick with the hepatitis and took the year or so off in 85, like when he comes back to do The Devil's Honey in 86, I love that movie, but everything post Devil's Honey after, it just feels like there was something missing. Mostly it was a budget. Mostly it was the heart. It just felt like it was a shell, right? And this guy got sick and it's a shame. It's really, to me, it's like, I appreciate this movie tried to go for some level of like innovation. So I do appreciate it for that element, even if it's not the greatest thing in the world. He is adorable in that little lumberjack hat and flannel. Yes, no, we love may Lucio Fulci rest in peace. This is definitely not one of his best, but it's not one of his worst either. I wouldn't say that either. As we move on to a sequel from 1990, a damn good sequel in my opinion. Sorry, Jack, Chucky's back. Yes, Child's Play 2. Look who's talking. Yes, Child's Play 2. I mean, holy shit. I adore Child's Play 2. I think this is a great sequel from top to bottom. I think that despite the fact that they didn't go with some of Don Mancini's ideas in the original movie, I think the reason that the second movie works so much is because the ideas that weren't used in the first picture are used here. We hired John LaFia, another director that sadly passed on. May he rest in peace. And LaFia worked hand in hand with Tom Holland on the first movie, and they worked hand in hand. And Don Mancini was never on the set. Don Mancini never met Tom Holland, which is, I don't know if something a lot of people know, but those two didn't know each other or meet each other. And it wasn't until John LaFia takes over to do the sequel where they bring in Don Mancini, and those two work hand in hand. And LaFia, I think, decided to use the ideas that were scrapped by Holland in Child's Play 2, and it makes Child's Play 2 feel like an original first movie off too. That's why when people say, oh, this is one of the better sequels, I think the biggest reason for that is because there's a lot of original shit in it that wasn't used, that was supposed to be used the first time around. Brad Dourif is tremendous as Charles Lee Ray. Close your eyes and count to 7. When you wake up, you'll be in heaven. I mean, so many good little one-liners. And sorry, Miss Kettlewell, beating the teacher to death with the ruler. I don't know. There's something about this movie that has a great charm to it. And the people do not believe him versus, the kid telling the truth. Andy's telling the truth. Please believe me. Please, I don't want him to get you too. And this kid that has been in the asylum that has been told that, all this stuff was make believe and it wasn't real. And he never really saw these things. They take his mom from him and he's bouncing around from foster family to foster family. And who shows up but Chucky? And he wants to play hide the soul. And, he finds solace and friendship in the stepsister or I guess foster sister Kyle, who's played by Christina Leese. I really like her in this movie. She keeps flipping them off and stuff like that. And you heard of dolls that can pee? This one bleeds. I love that. I think that's always great. I like Christina Leese a lot in this movie. I think she does a really good job. And to me, the finale in the fucking toy factory is great. Like that to me is a great. When you think of great finales, that's one of them. Like just the toy factory and the eyeball machine, and it wasn't enough to get Chucky into the machine or cut off his legs. We also have to pour boiling acid on him and explode him with a hose. There's like 5 different times Chucky dies in this movie and he keeps coming back angrier and madder than ever. And a great scene, great directed scene is when they're kind of trying to climb up the thing that rolls down the assembly line of dolls, and Andy's kind of trying to climb up and Chucky's swinging from behind. They're both climbing up and he's trying not to slip. That's great horror filmmaking, great tension, great suspense, just great stuff, man. I really like Child's Play too. I'm curious where you all fall in it because of the sequels, it's easily the best one to me. Maybe it's only behind the original, but only by a short margin. Voices from Beyond is rad. Give them one shot. I like Voices from Beyond, but I'm telling you, man, he lost something. When he got sick and came back, he fucking lost something. Like he never made a movie on par of what he was doing after that, in my opinion. But that's just me. I know you're a bigger Fulci guy than I am. Child's Play 2, best of the series by far. We're gonna play a little game. Chucky says, move your ass. I love that. Chucky salad. It's fun. Okay. Child's Play 2 is the GOAT, my favorite of the franchise. I love it. I love it too. I don't know if part 3 is on here, but I love part 3 as well. I don't know if part 3 made it on here. This movie has that consumerism vibe to it, and the way that Chucky is resurrected, that has the Frankenstein vibe to it. Okay. He would have loved Tom in Spider-Man, R.I.P. Okay. First Child's Play I ever saw, he cusses up a storm this one. You've been really naughty, Tommy. I love that. I love he's burying the other doll. Child's Play 2 is valid like salad, but I will say I think it's a little overrated, and part 3 is a lot more fun to me. I like part 3 a ton too. I don't know if I put it over part 2, but part 3 is a damn good movie too. Another one that I'm not a huge fan of, it's all right, but the original is the only Child's Play movie I truly like, but 2 is definitely better than any movie after. Okay. The original movie felt like it was a suspenseful thriller. This movie had a more whimsical feel to it. This one's definitely more a slasher movie for sure. Child's Play 2, love the ending, torture time for Chucky. Yes. The OG Child's Play series horror thriller, really. That's why it's my favorite of the franchise, but this is definitely a really fun one. This movie was the first to introduce the teenage protagonist, the character of Kyle, which I really like Christina Leese in the movie. Child's Play 2, S tier. I'm with you. Why is there only one guy working in the toy factory? And he gets a great death. The eyeball pop to the eyes is classic. That poster is iconic for the franchise. Yes, it is. That's a great poster. Yes, Grace Zabriskie of all David Lynch film fame. Christina Leese is going to be at Columbus HorrorCon in May along with Alex Vincent. Yeah, they've been doing a ton of conventions, those two. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Trench? Part 3 is awful. I do not mind part 3. That there are worse movies out there. Like I think Bride of Chucky's on here. I don't think people are gonna like my thoughts on that. My favorite is Bride, but 2 is my second place for sure. That's good. A lot of people like Bride. I am not one of them. I think that movie sucks. But let's look at a movie that doesn't suck from 1993, 94. I think 94 might have been Cemetery Man. It's a title I say at the beginning of every Grande's Graveyard, The Cemetery Man. That's from this movie. I remember when I originally wrote this intro, I was like, what movie references can I have in there? What can I call myself that would also just roll off the tongue and sort of reference a movie I really like? And that's why. That's why we're the Cemetery Man. I left. I did. I left. I left fucking Child's Play 2 and the God Awful. I think it's valid like salad. I'm sorry. I meant to say this is valid like salad. Thank you for catching me there, Arthur. I forgot to fucking rank it myself. Cemetery Man, though. Holy shit, man. I love this movie. Like, Rupert Everett is so good in this. It's another movie that makes zombies creative and interesting and just fun and in so many ways. I love Nagi. I love how deep it is. It's, of course, a take and slash adaptation of Dylan Dog Dead of Night, and it's a lot better than the actual Dylan Dog Dead of Night movie they made with fucking Brandon Routh's ass. This is an actually really good movie that is so mind-fucky. I always love how much this movie makes you think and how much it will make you question your own life and your own sanity and what world is this that we're watching? What world are we living in? What's going on here? And resurrection and themes of grief and sorrow and things like that. And to me, Rupert Everett just plays this so perfectly. It has some great black humor in it too, where the whole he's impotent, if you will, and then the whole scene where I don't think your doctor's medication is working. Like, I love that scene too, man. Cemetery Man's great. Bumpin' soundtrack, one of my favorite soundtracks ever. The in the ish. That's, oh my god, dude. That every time that comes on, that's like the best party jam of all time. Like, I love Cemetery Man. Cemetery Man is just a cut above the rest to me. I always thought this was a great, great movie. Of course, Michele Soavi is directing, and to me, it's his best movie. Like, I like The Sect, I like The Church. He's made some good movies, man. To me, Cemetery Man is above and beyond my favorite. Like, I just love everything about this movie. So I'll rate it this time before I go to comments, so I don't forget. Cemetery Man is goated to me. I think Cemetery Man's fucking great. Like, I really, really do. To me, it's just such a unique, interesting way of telling a zombie story, and to me, it has such good energy and storytelling aspect to it. So I love the movie. Let's see. I got to rewatch Cemetery Man. Wasn't into it the first time. Understandable. Shitty. Please don't make me explain. I love Michele Soavi, but this, like most films, isn't for me. Okay, that's fair. Two of you isn't for you. Sounds like. Haven't seen Cemetery Man in years, but I remember the feeling of underwhelming given its reputation. Got to go back and reevaluate it for sure. Yeah, this is one that, like, it is so unique and so different, so horse of a different color, that I could see why you'd have that reaction. I've actually heard of quite a few times of people saying, I hated it the first time I watched it. And, like, I hear that. I think it's just you don't get the movie you expect. And I think that's a big reason why people are like, what the hell is this? Because it's so weird, so off-color, so all over the place. And I know Matteo always mentioned to me that they really grossly mismarketed this movie in the motherland of Italy. So that's another thing I could see, if people thinking they were going to go walk in to see one movie, instead they get another. There's a great theme throughout this movie where there's a woman, she's old and she's progressively, she knows it's her time. She keeps visiting the cemetery. She keeps visiting Michele Soavi and I'm sorry, she keeps visiting Rupert Everett's character, and she's trying to kind of get him to pick out a plan for him, right? Like, oh, do you think this picture will look good on my casket or this, And he's kind of ignoring her until he sees that she dies. And it's in that moment where he realizes the difference of life and death. And, like, that to me is so freaking deep. And his performance, again, didn't have to say anything. It's all through expression. I think it's a really, really good flick. Oh no, I see Alien 3 in this. Maybe shitty for Grande. We'll get there. I was experiencing more Evil Dead antics, but I got expecting more Evil Dead antics. I got something darker, people having sex with corpses and needless into private areas. Just not what I wanted. Yeah, exactly. It's not what you expect at all. My thoughts on Cemetery Man is not an adequate Dylan Dog adaptation. Awful, god awful for Matteo. Oh man. Suave did Straight's Fight. Yes, he did. Top tier Cemetery Man, fun and gory. Yeah, I'm there. I think it's top tier. Let's see. I think I see Tremors down there too. I think a graveyard guy keeping the dead in the ground could be done better, but I got to rewatch it. Interesting. Stage Fright is honestly my favorite of his, but all his movies are cool. Yeah, I'm with that. All his movies are totally cool, man. I think it's great. Is it great to be alive on a Grande's graveyard on a Thursday night or what? Crater Mania is in the house. What's up, Crater? Absolutely, Stage Fright's a classic. Yes. Don't remember much about Cemetery Man, but I'm pretty sure I didn't hate it either. On the other hand, the boobs of Anna Falchi. Yeah, Anna Falchi is unbelievably gorgeous. Her beautiful eyes. Church is great from him, aka Demons 3. Yeah, no, as a director, McKelly didn't really miss. The Cemetery Man's my favorite from him. But let's move on. Oh, man, into one of the best. This has got to be a contender for one of the best of the whole decade from 1990. And another, man, how many directors have we talked about tonight that are no longer with us? Really sad. This is a great movie. Misery from 1990 with Kathy Bates as the lead and James Caan, who's sadly no longer with us either, R.I.P. James Caan, and Rob Reiner's direction. Holy shit, man. This is a truly all-time great horror movie. Not just, people always say, oh, Stephen King adaptation, this, that. They want to put a label on it. This is just a great all-time horror movie from top to bottom. Of course, tells the story of Jimmy Caan, who plays this writer who writes the Misery books, and he is on his way to get his last Misery novel published. There's a terrible snowstorm. The car flips over, and, he's dug out by this crazy woman who starts to take care of him, and then he slowly but surely realizes that she's fucking crazy. And that's kind of where the movie plays out from there. And it's Kathy Bates as the Annie Wilkes character. It's just such a iconic performance of her talking about every Saturday, me and my friends, we used to go up to see the chapter plays. Oh, I know that, Mr. Man. I'm not stupid, He didn't get out of the cocky duty car. She's holy shit, great in this. Like, she really, every single scene she's in, she hits the right note. It's always kind of delivered properly. And Jimmy Caan is really good in it too, man. That's not to say that Jimmy Caan wasn't great in this too. And the suspense from Reiner, the way he directs the scenes where she goes out to the store and he's kind of rolling around the house trying to get information or find something to hit her over the head with or something like that. And that to me is such good direction for horror, to make me feel tension even when I know that the villain is out of the house. We know one mistake, one nudge, one little accident could possibly cause him to get caught, and that's what makes it so good. And he's profusely sweating as it goes. That's great horror filmmaking to me. It's just, you feel it every single step of the way, until you get to that classic hobbling scene where they called it hobbling. They didn't kill him. Don't worry. It just crushes his feet. That's a hard watch. No matter how many times you've seen that, really hard watch. And then something that Miss C actually always made me realize with this movie, which I thank her for that. When I first reviewed this movie years and years ago on the show, there's the great scene where the two of them are having dinner with one another. And his plan, he's been saving up the drugs to put in her glass, her wine, and drug her, and obviously either kill her or get the fuck out of Dodge. Probably just to kill her. And they're sitting at the dinner table, and he says, hey, there's one problem with this. I'm going to need 2 glasses. And she's, oh, thank you so much. She goes back out to get it and stuff like that. And he puts the drugs, and he's getting ready to get her to drink it. And she knocks it over. And for years, I always assumed, oh, she knew it was coming, like totally. And like a majority of us in the chat that night, I remember we're with that. But Miss C kind of turned my brain onto the idea that, wait a minute, maybe she was caught up in loving him. Maybe she was caught up in the fandom and it was a legitimate accident. That to me makes her character so much more interesting, and it adds an extra layer, if it's not even there, to the Annie Wilkes character. Like, that to me is great. Blinded by the love that she even admits at a point. She says, I know you don't love me. Don't tell me that you do. Don't bullshit me at any point here. But in that moment of, hey, would you share a drink with me? We did this. We created this book together. I'd like to toast with you. A part of me likes to think that maybe she didn't do it on purpose. Like, I don't know, that part of it really got me going. And like, that's why I love this stuff. And the whole finale of, why don't you take the paper and eat it? You love it so much, eat it. And beats her over the head with the fucking thing. Like, holy cow, that is a truly great third act. And one of the best Stephen King novels ever, right, to me. Like, the whole idea of how personal that was, right? For Stephen King to write a story about how his fans don't want him to move on to other things. No. You're the horror guy. That's what we love you for. That's what we want you to do. That's kind of what they want to be. They want him to be that one-note guy. We want you to do horror. That's what we love you for. That's what we want you to do. None of this other nonsense. And in turn, he writes it as Jamie Caan is this guy who writes all these very, let's say, for lack of a better word, romantic, schmoozy type novels where Kathy Bates doesn't want him to move on to other things. Like, no, you're the guy that writes Misery. You're not moving on from this. I'll break your legs. I'll keep you here against your will. I'll tell them that I never found you. I'll tell them that you died. Anything to keep him from moving genres, she'll do to keep him in it. That's great. Like that must be what every creative person must face if they're wanting to move out or branch out. You face the horrors of that rejection. You face the horrors of that resentment from your own number one fans, right? Really a great movie. Misery's goated. I mean, Misery is an absolute maybe the best movie we've talked about thus far. It's just such a good movie. I love Misery a ton. But let's see what y'all have to say in the comments. I'm curious. Let's see. Where are we? I think we were here. Misery, goated movie. I'm your number one fan. Kathy Bates with one of the best acting performances of all time. She's totally deranged, totally deserving the Oscar. Yeah, she was. She earned that Oscar. And that to me, as a fan of this genre, I'm always so happy she won that. Like she earned that so well. And I don't know, that's just a once in a lifetime performance. The movie that made her career. I thought you were good, Paul, but you're no good. You're just another lying old dirty birdie. Oh my God, yes. And the pig named Misery. I love when she's playing outside with the pig and he just flips her off. Oh, you're such a kidder. I fucking love Jacob's Ladder. That's top tier. We'll get to Jacob's Ladder. Whoa. Misery's got awful. No, Crater. No. Okay. So the way this works is we talk about whatever movie we're talking about next goes in the column here, and then we rank it from there. Granted, before I forgot to drag Child's Play 2, so these things do happen. I would give a 9 out of 10. This is a wild moment. Yeah, I was gonna say, well, Opera Horror give you a 9 out of 10. You better put the film into the Museum of Modern Art or something. Misery, GOAT. Misery is GOAT. Great movie and great book. Creator, GTS, the like. Misery is another goated movie. I'm glad I finally bought it. Yes, but the 4K, if you get the 4K from Kino, that's one of the best 4Ks ever. Hey, Grande, ... I'm your number one fan. Just don't break my legs, brother. But I appreciate your fandom. Thank you. Great book, great GOAT movie for sure. The hobbling scene is one of the most unsettling scenes. Dude, yeah, and it's funny, no matter how many times I watch that, it's never easier. It's never like, it's nothing now. No, that every time you feel that. Oh man, it's effective. Annie Wilkes is farm strong. She grabbed Paul out of the car and slung him over her shoulder like a beast, badass lady. Yes, she did. She channeled her inner Brock Lesnar. Farm strong. Misery's an S. Yes. I will never believe she spilled the wine on purpose. I think it was an accident. Whoa, 2 people think it was an accident. That's interesting. Annie is a child trapped in the adult body. She has difficulty separating fact from fiction. Sure, I mean, to me, too, a great way to explain her backstory is when he finds the fucking scrapbooks of she's been killing infants. And they did the show, which I finally did watch. I thought was quite good. I can't think of the damn name of it, of course. Was it Castle Rock or something you had Lizzie Kaplan playing Annie Wilkes, and she did a really good job. I was like, I don't know about this. And she did a really good job, I'd have to say. Kathy Bates is another King adaptation. Dolores Claiborne, another really good movie. The great Lauren Bacall right at the end. How would you feel about writing a novel about what went on in that house? Misery loves company, so it belongs up top with Army of Darkness. Hell yeah. Misery is one of the best. The movie is a perfect example of simple but effective. If you like Misery, check out Dolores Claiborne. Great movie. I completely agree. Merns, what's up, Graveyard fam? Pumpkinhead 2 shitty. That movie is amazing. Mernsy's in the house. Mernsy, good to see you, buddy. Castle Rock. It was Castle Rock. Okay, I was right. I love that you never got out of the cock-a-doodie car. Man, great stuff. Let's move on to the next one, though. A fun one, but one, I haven't seen this movie in too long. This is Tremors with Kevin Bacon and Reba McEntire, who's actually really fucking good in this movie, believe it or not. Tremors is a fun monster movie. It's nothing great to me. I honestly have only seen it once. I liked it, and I saw 2 and I saw 3. And that was it. That was the end of me watching Tremors movies. It's good. It's solid. The director, I want to say Ron Underwood, I think it was his name. He's solid enough. I don't know. This is one I can't really say much about. It's probably valid, but I'm more towards middle of the road because it's been so long since I've seen Tremors. I'm actually gonna have to poll the chat here. What do we think of the chat of Tremors? Because it's been too long. Tremors is one of my favorite, one of my grandma's favorites, so I have a soft spot for it. That's People in the Stairs for me. My grandmother loved People in the Stairs. Tremors is fantastic, valid as salad. Okay. Tremors is solid. I prefer Tremors 2, fun movies. Tremors grossed me out so bad at the end when they're slapping on the ground and exploding. Oh shit, Jeff's in the house. Tremors is absolutely goated to me. Okay. S tier, 10 out of 10, life-changing. Tremors change your life. I can't tell if you're being serious or not. Reba McEntire, my late father had a crush on, a beautiful redhead and a voice that will make you cry. Well, we all do love Reba McEntire. You'll bust it out. Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. Come on, Graveyard. Please don't make me watch Tremors 3. First Tremors is salad, fun, and good. It has, Tremors is iconic. All right, you know what? You guys have convinced me. We'll go valid as salad. Valid like salad, I think, is good place for Tremors. It's just one that I swear to you, I've never, ever rewatched it. I watched it the one time, thought it was fine, but, maybe this is calling for a graveyard on Tremors. Maybe we'll have to do all the Tremors movies, which will probably be something I regret, but, there's always down the road. Oh, I'm serious. Really? Tremors changed your life. I'm actually floored. Tremors is a lot of fun. Yeah, it is fun. Tremors is classic B movie. This is a movie that also has Ariana Richards before she was terrorized by the huge T-Rex. She was terrorized by the gigantic worm. Tremors is really good time. She has a song called Grandpa Man Feels. Does she? My favorite horror of the 90s. Wow. Holy shit. Tremors had a huge impact on me too when I was little. It's one of those times as a kid where, whoa, what the fuck is this? Wow, okay. I did not realize how fucking nostalgic people were for Tremors. Whopper could have starred in Tremors. Yeah, Whopper versus Tremors has got to be Tremors 5. That'll be a really fun movie to watch there. But oh man, here's you gonna get to one that I think is gonna be really mixed in the chat. I love Nightbreed. Nightbreed's great in my opinion, but again, not for everybody. I've had the amount of people that tell me this is one of the biggest pieces of shit. I laugh. And this is one of those movies to me, Nightbreed, where I think it was just grossly mismarketed, unfortunately. If you ever seen the original theatrical one sheet of this movie, it's like so-and-so doesn't know what's going on with her boyfriend. It's a woman looking through the blinds. And it's just, it looks like a generic slasher poster. And if you've seen Nightbreed, it's literally the furthest thing from what Nightbreed actually is. It's from the mind of Clive Barker, his second directed picture about a town called Midian, a town in the graveyard, if you will. And you have all these wonderful, mysterious creatures from there and all this great practical effects and makeup work and stuff like that. Just visually stunning movie. As we watch our lead character and he sort of gets mixed up in this whole thing. And David Cronenberg, he plays the heel in this. So good, man. To me, one of the coolest / scariest masks in the history of horror movies is that Cronenberg mask in this movie with the little zipper on the side, and how creepy and genuinely unsettling his performances in Nightbreed. I think he's great. And I think that once Nightbreed came out with the director's cut, once I saw the director's cut of Nightbreed, that was when I was like, wow, this is really, it's a shame that they cut this movie to shreds and we didn't get the movie that this release shows us, right? That's a movie that you need to watch the director's cut because the theatrical just doesn't hit the same. And I know people that saw the movie in theaters and were really let down by it and never bothered to give it another go. And I could see why, because that's not really the movie Clive was trying to make. And this is a movie that discouraged Clive Barker from really making movies. He did do one more, Lords of Illusions, which I do think is on here somewhere. But man, Nightbreed to me is a classic. I love Nightbreed. I really love this movie. I'm teetering on an S to an A, but I think it's got to stay valid. I think it's valid like salad. It's so close. It's on the borderline, but I'm going to give it a valid like salad. Let's see what y'all have to say, though, in the chat. I'm curious. Let's see. Not seen Nightbreed yet, based on the book The Cabal. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it is. And there is a Cabal cut of the movie. Nightbreed, god-awful. Yeah, I am not surprised. This is not a movie I would think you'd like. It's been too long since I've seen Nightbreed. Don't remember it at all. See, I actually really like Nightbreed. Kind of boring to me. Yep, again, not as AJ movie at all. I I'm actually not surprised you wouldn't like this one. Director's cut is the perfect only way to watch it. Exactly. This is go to my favorite Clive Barker. See, yeah, you have two sides of the coin. You have the people is like, nah, and then people are like, this is unbelievable movie. I'm close. I'm so close to giving it the goated, but I'm gonna stay Val like salad. Have not seen Nightbreed. I think it's worth a shot. I think Nightbreed's great. It's a lot better than the Kurt Angle movie from last week. Cowboys drafted Caleb Downs. Fuck yeah. All right. Happy for your Cowboys. Nightbreed is salad. The movie never quite got the feel of the Cabal book. Cronenberg was good too. Yeah, Dr. Decker is so freaking scary in this, man. Cronenberg was, oh man, great in this film. I love all the different monsters and characters. Yes, and then you hear the behind the scenes stories where like they didn't like Doug Bradley's voice, so they dubbed him over with the character. Like that, just insane. And I like how there's some bad monsters and good monsters and vice versa with the humans. Nightbreed's too wacky for me. I feel like I'm watching Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, that's a decent point. I don't know. I like it. I definitely, it's an acquired taste though. Like it's just not a movie for everybody. I mean, so far it's really interesting. We really don't have too many bad. So far it's been pretty damn good. And that's only going to continue with this next movie from 1990. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. And everybody knows I'm a big, well, at least if you're familiar with the channel, that I love Tales from the Dark Side. Like Tales from the Dark Side, the series is like my bread and butter. One of my favorite shows of all time. And the movie adaptation is really good too. I mean, I like all the stories in the movie adaptation. The only, I guess if I had to rank them, I would say I would go in like reverse order of like, I think the last one's the best, second, first. I'd go backwards, right? And they play out 1, 2, 3, but I'd rank them backwards, right? The third story is the best and so on. I mean, all of the stories are good. The wraparound with Blondie herself, right? I always thought that was really funny to see her in there. And funny enough, she was in an episode of the series. She was Debbie Harry was in the Moth episode of Tales from the Dark Side, and Christian Slater shows up. He was in the Case of the Stubborns episode. So we got actors that were in the series in the movie kind of spliced in there. We do get to see the fun Cat from Hell segment that was supposed to be in Creepshow 2. Always like that it eventually makes a big screen debut here. I always thought that was a really funny story with of course Uncle Lewis, William Hickey, and they want you to say grace, the blessing. I mean, William Hickey is so fucking funny and everything, and like I adore the Cat from Hell segment. It's fucking hysterical. And to me, the last segment is so heart wrenching. Like I know people, they say it's too like romantic, it's too dramatic, whatever. Like I know people do not like the last segment. That's fine. I love the last segment. Like I think that is a really well done, told, directed, written, the whole thing. Like I really like how that last segment is done overall. Like I really like the wrap up, and I don't know, there's something about Tales from the Dark Side of the movie. John Harrison's direction, man. John Harrison's one of my faves, one of my favorite Dark Side directors, one of my favorite Creepshow the series directors. He did direct Books of Blood, a Clive Barker adaptation. I love John Harrison. I was somebody I've always really, really liked. You may remember him in Dawn of the Dead as the screwdriver zombie, or the guy that did the score for Creepshow and Day of the Dead. John Harrison's kind of had his fingers in a lot of different things over the years. And, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is a damn good movie. Like, I always really liked this anthology. I'm going to say it's valid like salad to me. It's not, I don't think it's a top 5 horror anthology. It's a top 10. I think it's in the top 10 horror anthologies ever. I really do. Like it's right there for me for top 10 best horror anthologies ever. Let's see where we were. Rawhead Rex is more of a creature feature slasher. I like From the Mind of Barker. And it's funny, he hated that. He hated the Rawhead Rex. That was the movie that made him want to make Hellraiser on his own, was Rawhead Rex. He hated it so bad. It's just like a really good dark fantasy film. Should have got a sequel if any Clive Barker film deserves a sequel. Oh, Nightbreed could have had a whole series done after it, but it didn't catch. Like it didn't. I don't know. It's just not a lot of people like Nightbreed. But the people that do swear by it. So it's kind of funny. Tales from the Dark Side is goated. I'm a huge anthology horror fan, and this is one of the best. Every segment is a winner, and it has one of the best anthology segments of all time, The Lover's Vow. That's my favorite of the stories as well. I'm with you there. It's funny because more people I talk to over the years, they always say that's the weaker one of the movie, and I'm always like, huh? Like, that's my favorite one of the movie. Plus, this William Hickey, you couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant. And Lewis, my tree, what have you done to my beautiful tree? What's the matter with you? Oh shit! What I could do William Hickey impressions all night. It's so fucking funny. Ernest Scared Stupid. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Tales from the Dark Side is valid like salad. I think. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie is almost like a dark fairy tale. I go 3-1-2. I go 3-2-1. But yeah, they're all of them are good. Like there's no real weak. If you count the movie, Steve Buscemi is possibly the only actor to be. And you mentioned that to me the other day. And I think you're right. You know, I didn't look into it too deep, but I'm pretty sure you're right that he is the only actor to ever appear in any of those. Granted, he was never on Tales of the Dark Side, the show, but like you said, if you count the movie. So, you know, that is pretty cool little fun fact. It'd be a great trivia question. Tales of the Dark Side is goated, top 5 anthology horror film for me. 3 great stories and a great wraparound. A twist in the third segment was great, even though you saw it coming from a mile away. Yes, that's such a good point. You do see it coming from a mile away, but it doesn't change its effectiveness. That's a really good way to put it. All the segments are great. Dude, people do not like. I've talked to a ton of people that do not like Lover's Vow, so we're definitely towards the. Okay, so somebody else is with us. Last segment's the best. Last segment is by far the best. Okay, I'm happy that we're in agreement. But yeah, no, most people that I've talked about. John Harrison scores incredible. Day of the Dead is goddamn one of the goddamn best for me. Yeah, that and I love the Day of the Dead score. It's amazing, and also Creepshow. Creepshow score is iconic. I mean, the piano, so good, man. Barker hated Riot Rex because they didn't make him look like a cock like in his story. Dark Side movie was just okay for me, and I thought the effects for the cattail were goofy, middle of the road. Okay, you're a tough customer, Mr. Bragg. Very tough customer. The circus is very fun. Yes, leave it to him. Yeah, that's right. He's in the circus, and he shows up in the movie. I didn't even mention that, but good movie. I think Tales from the Dark Side movie is damn good. Arachnophobia, man, we a ton of zingers on here, man. I like Arachnophobia a lot too. John Goodman, we will find him, conquer him, and blow him back to Kingdom Come. I love Arachnophobia. Jeff Daniels, really good as the lead in this. A fun early 90s creature feature. This is to me a big thing with this movie, a big thing with Arachnophobia is this is before CGI took over everything. Like if you watch this movie, to me, I love how they use spiders practically and they use real spiders as much as they humanly can. That to me is the smartest and best thing about Arachnophobia. Like now it'd just be CG spiders all the fucking time. And it's to the point where it's like, dude, did you even try? Like, I hate that. Like, this must have been tough to film to get the spider to do whatever they wanted it to do, right? And like, it's effective, it's fun, it's got heart. Jeff Daniels is good as the lead. John Goodman's great as the comedic relief. Like, I don't know, man. I'm a big Arachnophobia fan. I would say another valid like salad for me. I really like this one. What do you all have to say? I'm curious. Haven't seen Arachnophobia in forever, but I remember liking it. Yeah, it's solid, man. Horror can be more than just flashy blood and monsters in your face sometimes. The drama and undertones are scarier than the gore and the monsters. That's why Lover Val works. That's it. I think you put it beautifully. And yeah, I'm in that boat too. I think that's why that segment works so damn well. It's the horrors of the whole fact that he couldn't keep that a secret to himself. And then when it all comes crumbling down, just the heartbreak and the sorrow, that's where the horror lies itself. And that's what's so good about it. Good movie. I like Arachnophobia. Great cast too. Yeah, I like Arachnophobia too. I think that Steven Spielberg wanted to create his very own version of Jaws when he had produced this movie. And yeah, no, this is one that it was a sleeper for sure. Arachnophobia is good. Good time at the movies. Okay, so we all seem in the good category. It's not necessarily goated, but in the good category. So I'm fine with that. Another one that I think is pretty solid. Sometimes They Come Back. Another Stephen King adaptation from, I want to say 91 was this one. This is Tim Matheson is in this, and it tells the story of he comes back to his town after years of being away, and he's a teacher, and he teaches this class of high school kids. And then one day, this greaser shows up, played by Robert Russler, who we've talked about the past couple of weeks in movies like Elm Street 2 or Vamp. He shows up and he recognizes him from his childhood. He's part of this gang of greasers that used to bully he and his brother, and then eventually this whole incident happened where their car got stuck on the train tracks and they get wiped out by a train, and it's their ghosts coming back years and years later to kind of haunt Tim Matheson and his family. I like this movie a lot. I think it does suffer from the ending goes too long. Like the ending is drawn out, so that is what would hurt it for being like goated. But all around for a TV movie, for a Stephen King TV picture, this is a really good movie too. Like I like everybody in it. I think Tim Matheson does what he can with the role. I think that Robert Russell is great as the heel greaser guy. Like I don't know. For me, this is a super underrated Stephen King joint. And I would another one, Val Like Salad. I'm not playing around here tonight. We got a ton of Valid Like Salad movies here on Grande's Graveyard. This is so fun. Let's see, where were we? Sometimes They Come Back is a good, interesting movie. Haven't seen that King adaptation. Well, this is a King adaptation. Sometimes They Come Back is mid or Val Like Salad. Very good TV flick with great makeup effects. And the end where the brother doesn't want to go back into the afterlife. It's heart-wrenching. Yeah, it's really good. If you ever read the short story, which is from his Night Shift book, Scott Norman is not in it. He has adapted to the film adaptation. Okay. Sometimes They Come Back shows its TV quality roots, middle of the road. Yeah, that may be the one knock. It does feel like a TV movie in a lot of ways, but at the same time, for a TV movie, I think it's really good. Like I'd put it over Rose Red. Like I thought I'd love Rose Red, and I didn't. Like Rose Red was such a letdown. I'd put it over the Salem's Lot with fucking what's his name, Rob Lowe. I'd put it over that. Like it's certainly it's better than others, right? I think it's better than Thinner, which is not a very good Stephen King adaptation. I think maybe this one could be a bit better, but I do think it's a good little horror story. I feel bad for the female student. Yeah, and funny enough, this was directed by, I believe, Tom McLaughlin of Friday the 13th Part 6 fame. So yeah, really like Tom McLaughlin's direction in this. And I don't know, I kind of like this movie. I think this is a valid one for sure. As we go on to the next movie here, the zingers just keep on coming, man. Holy shit. Night of the Living Dead, 1990, the remake of the quintessential classic 1968 George Romero film, a movie that to me created a whole subgenre of horror movies, and a movie that's being remade countless times. It's being remade as we speak. It's been remade in 3D with Sid Haig. It's been remade to death, but to me, there's no better remake of it than this movie here from 1990, of course, directed by Tom Savini, starring Patty Tallman, who had been in Tales from the Dark Side as well, and Night Riders, and had worked with Romero and company along her early career. And she plays the Barbara character. And of course, you have Tony Todd playing Ben, and instead of the Dwayne Jones character, obviously Dwayne Jones playing that character, we have Tony Todd playing that character. Tom Towles is really, really good in the movie, from Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Just a great cast. I really like everybody in this cast. I know there's a big argument. Do people like that they made Barbara more strong and like, a person that could provide for herself, and they add her side to it, right? There's the Cooper side in the original and the Ben side, right? Do we go out there? Do we stay up here, board everything up, or do we go in the cellar? There's the two arguments, right? And who's right and who is wrong. And then in the remake, we add Barbara's side, right? And Barbara ends up being right. Barbara's the right choice, right? We should just go and run right past them, and we'll all be okay. But to me, the beauty of Night of the Living Dead and the beauty of George Romero writing, to me, has always been the fact of it's about the horrors of the lack of communication. That to me is the beauty of George as a writer, and Night of the Living Dead is the age-old tale of that. If we fail to communicate and hear, we will lose to the zombies out there. It's George Romero writing 101. It's as old as time, and to me, it's always an impactful way to tell this type of story. And I know that people do not like that they add the right way about it, like they all should have just listened to Barbara. I hear that. I think personally it was the right move. I think if you're going to change something about the original, the Judith O'Dea Barbara, I know she's scared, she's afraid, yada, yada, yada. I think it was smart to make her more capable and more tough and more, I could take care of myself now. And I think it had showed a change in the time, the change. Galen does that with Dawn of the Dead. Galen wasn't going to act frantic and scared and all that. Galen was like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. And I think she was way ahead of her time on that. And I think that the genre kind of followed along in what Galen's mentality was. And I think that's why I thought that the Patty Tallman character of Barbara here was so well done too. And to me, what I always respected about Savini is that you would think, for this being his directed debut, right, the directorial movie, that he would have made this a gore reel, right? That this would have been something where all we see is effects, because we have the effects guy at the director's chair. He didn't do that. He played to the strengths of the script. He played to what George would have made this. And to me, that's what makes this great. And I don't know, I really like this movie. I think this is a really good fucking horror remake, man. Like, Oh, man, I really like this, and another one that's going to easily be valid like salad. This is the valid like salad night. Yeah, everyone have your Caesar salad croutons with this episode of Grande's Graveyard. It is brought to you by Just Salad. Let's see, where the heck were we? Think we were here. Speaking of Tony Todd, he's awesome in this. I prefer the ending to the original. Great remake. Yeah, he is awesome in this, man. Like I swear to you, when we saw this in 35, we saw it in 35 millimeter, and it was right. It was like a year or so before Tony Todd had passed. We're watching this in the movie theater, 35 millimeter, sold out crowd. And when he popped up on the screen and he's like, "Is there anyone else here? Can anyone help?" Like everyone just clapped for Tony, and that was one of the coolest moments I could ever remember in the movie theater. Was everybody just like the respect that Tony Todd like had from the community? It's unmatched. Like that he's so good in this movie. To me, the best scene, his best acting scene, is not even anything he says. It's when he sees the gas pump key at the end, and he looks and he's lighting a cigarette, and he's bandaged up, and the lights are going darker. He just starts laughing like, of course it was right there, of course. And that, again, that perfectly drives home what Romero horror is. He looks, he laughs, he smiles, and what happens? The dark lights begin to, obviously take the scene away, right? The lights start to dim. It's because we weren't able to listen and communicate or look for this fucking key that ultimately you died at the gas pump. You blew yourself up. I'm here in a sling. I'm bleeding out. I'm going to die myself. Like, to me, that's the whole thing done without saying a goddamn word. That's George Romero at his best, man. This movie feels like a copy of the original, but it's very good. I think it's very good too. I'm a big fan of this movie. Living Dead, that Living Dead remake is great, fantastic cast, and I like how it kept true to the original, but it did its own things as well. Yes, to me, what it does different, it improved for the better. Like that's where I'm coming from. I think in the places where it takes a hit are maybe the horror department. I don't think it's as scary as the original Night of Living Dead. It doesn't have that same atmosphere or grit, but it's still a damn good movie. Time has been very kind to the Night of Living Dead remake. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it. It really has. That 4K that came out is pretty good. Night, Val like salad. I'm with you. I go back and forth with this one and the original for my favorite version, top tier. Yeah, it's really good. It's when you have to debate over that, that's saying something. Bass Barbers go. I liked Patty Tallman. I think Patty Tallman was really good. Night 90 is Val like salad. Savini did a great job with it. Didn't change too much, but it made his own still. Yep. Love Night of the Dead remake with Tony Todd, another one of Todd's greatest performances. Yeah, I'm with that. It is one of his greatest performances. I know a good friend of the show, Matt Landrum, he always shares the story with me that he did a monologue of Tony Todd's, monologue in this movie for one of his classes. And he told Tony Todd that when he met him, and Tony apparently was like, literally over the stars for him. He was like, that is the coolest thing ever. Like, thank you so much. Like, it's really cool, man. Both Barbers are great for different reasons. Exactly Iron, because in the original movie, she was more traumatic, right? Good movie, but not GOAT. Yeah, I'm there. I'm valid like salad. I don't think it's GOATed either. I said in my review, Barbara had female balls in this movie. Yeah, she does. And I think some people don't like that. I love this version of Night. Perfect casting. I love Tom's direction. I just wish it had more graphic special effects. It's funny. I'm the opposite. That's kind of what I appreciate about it. I appreciate that he didn't just go to what his bread and butter was. Instead, he was like, let me tell a story. And I think it really worked. And again, you had so many good actors to tell this story. Like I love Tom Towles is great as Cooper. He's so, oh man, you want him to get shot at the end. And thankfully that's what happens. Hey, Love Machine, every time I lead you to, oh my God, scream until you like it, never gonna stop. I like the remake Night, but the Barbara character I could do without her views. Okay. But it's still a damn good flick. Okay. High down step, down is up. Nice to see you here from Jason Green streams. Oh, well, welcome. I don't know Jason Green, but always happy to have Jeff in the house. Jeff's in a ton of these. Hey, Undead, good to see you soon. I actually spoke to Jason yesterday. Oh, wow, there we go. One big happy family in this YouTube community. Chef Boy Grande and his Val like salad. I guess so. Voice to text message. Okay. My favorite funny bits from the Night of the Living Dead remake was the angry dude always talking crap about everyone. Bunch of yo-yos. Yes. That's of course Tom Towles. Welcome, Anthony, Fever Dreamland Theater. I'm just wondering why Grande is hiding that beautiful chestnut hair under the hat. I just got my hair cut and it's a little short, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear the Knicks hat tonight. They're playing a playoff game, so that's why there's no chestnut on display. Tom Towles, such an underrated actor. Yeah, another guy sadly is gone, not with us anymore. R.I.P. Tom Towles, man. But damn good performance here in a damn good movie. And oh man, the hits just keep on coming. And I'll tell you right now, this one's not going to go in the Val like salad. I'm going to tell you right now where this one goes. This one is going to go in the top. I'm talking about this movie from 1990, Tim Robbins in Jacob's Ladder. Yes, Jacob's Ladder from 1990. Another all-time great horror movie to me. Like, to me, as far as great psychological horror movies go, I don't know if there's many that are going to outshine Jacob's Ladder and Tim Robbins' performance in the movie. Adrian Lyne's direction and the writing. Man, holy shit, man. This is just a all-time great movie. I will never forget. This is one of the movies that I think the trailer really like garnered my interest in it. Like, I remember when I first saw the trailer, it was on a VHS tape. For the life of me, I don't remember which VHS tape it was, but I saw it as a kid, and just the trailer alone, the visuals I can remember, like the guy on the train with the tail and some of the shit at the party where you see brief glimpses of shit, but you don't know why. You don't ever really get explained, at least in the trailer, and I'm kind of confused. I remember it really made me want to see this movie, and when I finally saw it, it didn't disappoint. Danny Aiello is tremendous in the movie. That whole scene between the two of them when they're talking about obviously the significance of Jacob's Ladder and things like that. Like, I mean, this is a great movie to me. Like, all-time great horror flick. It's just so creepy. Has so many good actors in it. I believe I want to say Elizabeth Pena is the actress's name. She's no longer with us. She was in Rush Hour 2, I want to say. Or no, she's in Rush Hour 1, I think. If I'm thinking of the right actress. I think I got the wrong name. I'm totally messing up. I'm actually going to look up her name. Jacob's Ladder. I want to think of her damn name because I know she's gone too soon as well. She's a really good actress. I want to get her name here. Not Elizabeth Pena, is it? Am I wrong? I'm right. It is Elizabeth Pena. I'm so sorry about that. I for some reason my brain was like, no, you're wrong, and I was right. She's gone too soon, but she's really good in it. As this, she's trying to walk him through everything that's going, and he just can't. Like, he just keeps fucking cannot keep his cool. And that whole ending with the Macaulay Culkin and the fucking, oh my god, like, Jacob's Ladder is one of those movies I've never reviewed on Grande's Graveyard, but I really should. Maybe we'll do a psychological horror episode down the road of Grande's Graveyard, and Jacob's Ladder would be a fun one to dive in depth to. Like, it's a movie that I haven't seen in a long time, but it's a movie that, like, every time I watch it, it's, my God, it's like chef's kiss. So Jacob's Ladder is fucking goated to me. Let's see what you guys have to say, though, in the chat. I'm trying to go these a little bit quicker here because I know it's been a little bit of long of a show, and we have so many more, and I don't know how many we're going to get to be honest. Let's see. I'm not dead. I'm alive. Jacob's Ladder is great. Yes, it is. Jacob's Ladder is absolutely goated. Amazing movie. Silent Hill before Silent Hill. That's an interesting way of looking at it. I never thought of it that way. The dance scene is wicked. Dude, that scared the shit. Well, it still scares the shit out of me. When they're in and it's just like the strobe and the editing, and like it's like, what the fuck? Like, that is some scary ass shit. The plot of Jacob's Ladder feels like a horror movie version of all that jazz. Okay, love Jacob's Ladder. This film goes deep, and that's what's so good about it. It's horror subject matter, but it's tackled and approached with such class and sincerity that it's just absolutely outstanding. Like, I think this is a great movie too. It does go deep. I think I'm the only person who's seen Jacob's Ladder that doesn't like it. You might not be in the minority there. I don't. This is a movie that is not for everybody too. It's definitely not. I wouldn't say it's acquired taste, but it's not for everybody either. Like, I'm actually not surprised to hear you don't like it. They called it The Ladder. Yep. Jacob's Ladder is amazing. I first caught this on TV at a younger age, really got under my skin. Yeah, I saw this younger too, and I didn't understand it when I first saw it, but holy shit, man, it is truly haunting. Never saw Jacob's Ladder, but I tried the remake. Oh no, don't try that remake. Oh, the remake is terrible. The remake, like that, for example, that train sequence I mentioned where the guy had the little tail. In the remake, it's like some guy's messed up feet on the train. Like, why not? Like, horrible. You kill each other like animals. I heard only bad things about the remake. It's terrible. I'm with you, Machine. I don't like Jacob's Ladder either. Thought I was the only hater also. Hey, no, this is a safe platform. If you love or hate something, tell me, man. Tell me why. Adrian Lynn, whatever, is such a great director with movies like Fatal Attraction, Flashdance. Let's forget about Lolita, though. The Lolita remake is a big piece of monkey shit. But Jacob's Ladder is not. Jacob's Ladder is fucking awesome. As we move on to this next one that doesn't get enough talk, from 1997 from director Vincenzo Natali, I'm talking about Cube. Yes, Cube from 1997. Mark Murphy, I don't know if you're still here, but this is Mark Murphy's favorite horror movie of all time. And understandable, this is a great, great movie. This is a Canadian shot film, and it kind of is a precursor for Saw, right? It starts where these group of people, they kind of wake up in separate rooms, they all kind of gather together, and they're in this cube, and they have to kind of solve these equations to go from room to room, and their whole ideology is, okay, how do we get out of this? How do we escape the cube, if you will? And you have certain characters that may or may not be good or bad people, and again, it's kind of playing the Romero trope of, can we work together in here to get out of here? And obviously along the way there are twists, there are turns, and an ending that I remember the first time I saw the ending, I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's one of those endings where I went, stop. Like, to this day, I'm still like, really? Like, but it's great. It's not a ending where you're like disappointed in how shocking it is. It's just an ending where you go, holy shit, like, you got to be kidding, in a good way. Great acting, great tension, really, really good direction from Vincenzo, a guy that would go on to make quite a few other interesting movies. I remember Splice, which I don't know if that's a movie that people remembers, but that was with Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley, another interesting movie from the late 2000s. I don't know. I really like Cube. I think Cube is a damn good movie. And to me, like Saw and the torture era, they owe a lot to this movie because, again, it's not necessarily a torture movie, but it has that template that I think a lot of those movies kind of borrowed from and obviously made all this money with. There are sequels. Cube 2 is horrible, Hypercube, and then there's Cube 0, which is slightly better than Cube 2, but that's not saying, it's literally just saying, oh, it's better than the terrible one, but it's nothing even compared to the original. I think the original is great. And I do believe there's a Japanese remake of Cube, which I did see, and it has a horrible twist ending at the end where, like, I literally it was the opposite, where I said, shut the fuck up and want to break my TV. I really like this one. Am I about to go goated here? Let's look where we're at. Cause like, I can see it fitting in here, but man, Cube might be here. I don't know. This is really tough. Graveyard, help me out on this one. I'm in between Bow Like Salad and Goated. Help me out. I'm going to listen to the majority here. For me, Cube is easiest of the GOAT. My personal favorite horror of the 90s. Wow. Okay, so that would make it Goated for Mateo. Cube rules. I used to watch that on Sci-Fi Channel all the time. Great fucking movie. I agree. It is a great fucking movie. I have a remake of Cube. I think it's another foreign one. Yes, it's the Japanese remake of Cube, which unfortunately wasn't very good. Very colorful. It had a lot of great colors in it, but that was about it. Cube is so mid to me. Good serviceable flick, but I never liked it as much as others seem to. See, I think it's right there. It's right on the borderline of like A and an S. This movie, very much like a version of the classic Twilight Zone episode 5, Characters Search for an Exit. That's a good call. Yeah, sure, I could see that. Incredible low budget directing too. Got to give them credit for creating such a vision. And apparently this entire movie was all shot in the same room. Like, there's not multiple, like, they literally just dress the room up. Oh, we'll do it blue, we'll do it green, we'll do it blue, we'll do it red. And they kind of play with the colors. And then they're always in the same room the entire movie, though. Like, I thought that was a really good kind of way to kind of trick us here. I think it's goated just because it's so original. So 2 for goated. I don't see anybody else saying it's not. So, you know what? I'm with y'all. Let's put Cube in the goated tier. Let's do it. Cube goes to goated. That's pretty cool. I like it. And speaking of another one that's probably going to go in the goated, I'm not even going to hold you in suspense. From 1999, starring the beautiful, the voluptuous Ihi Shina, Takashi Miike, cinema at its finest. I'm talking about this one, Audition. Yes, Audition, which I'm very excited for the 4K. It's coming out from Arrow. I've already got that pre-ordered. I love this movie. To me, like, Takashi Miike is an all-time cinema master. And I know everybody points to his horror cinema. And don't get me wrong, he's made some great, great horror movies. But none that struck a nerve quite like Audition did. Like, you got to keep in mind, my age, this did come out in my lifetime. I was maybe 2 years old when this movie came out. And when it did come out, I remember so many people talking about it. I was a kid. I didn't see the movie yet, but this was one that everyone was talking about. I don't know if people remember this. It was called Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. And it would be these celebrities / actors, actresses, directors, writers, what have you. They would talk about movies, and it would be 100 different movies they discussed. And this was one of them that I can remember people being like, and the ending of this film scared me so bad. And I remember when I first saw that, I was like, I got to see this fucking movie. Like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? And when I finally saw the movie, I was so surprised that it's really much more of a drama for most of the picture. I mean, there's horror elements, there's tons of horror at the end, but the beginning, it starts as this guy loses his wife to a disease. He's sad, he's alone. His son says he needs to get back out there and start dating people. And he does, and they all, of course, stage this whole audition for him to cast someone where it's really just an open audition to be his girlfriend. And he picks Ihishina, the white angel of the bunch, and she's anything but that. And Ihishina was a method actress and did some crazy shit on the set of this film. There's a scene where we know that she's holding this person hostage and cuts his legs off, his fingers, stuff like that. She vomits into a bowl and has the guy eat it. That apparently was real. She really threw up into the bowl, and the guy really ate it, unbeknowingly that he was eating real vomit. He thought it was play vomit. Like, that's how crazy Ihishina is in real life too. Just a crazy method actress. But the way that she makes you fall in love with her, right? The whole, I've never felt happiness because I've never known happiness because I've never felt happiness. The lines like that, where she's saying that she doesn't know what it is to be happy because she's always been so sad, and the torture and the kitty, cutting his legs and his Achilles off at the end. Oh my God, dude, when you first see that is some of the most horrific stuff ever. And to me, it's ingrained in any horror fan's eyes. Whether you're a McKay fan, whether you're not, whether you're a Japanese, Asian cinema fan, or you're not, everyone knows Audition. Everyone knows the movie. Like, it's truly synonymous with the genre, and truly is one of those movies that I think struck a nerve and moved us along from one decade to another, right? It almost was a movie that made horror movies scary again, in similar vein to the Blair Witch Project. It struck a nerve with some people that kind of moved us on into the new millennium. That's how I've always looked at Audition. So there is no freaking doubt or hesitation in my mind that it's goated, and there's no damn fucking doubt about it. Let's see, where the heck were we? I think we were here. It's cohabitation horror meeting done in one location. Yes. Oh God, Audition is one fucked up movie, disturbing, unsettling. Takashi Miike is amazing and isn't afraid to push boundaries. His Masters of Horror episode was banned. Right. Imprint, which was pretty crazy one. I just purchased the Arrow Blue, so it'll be the first time watch for me. Oh man, you're gonna love it. I think you'll love it. Audition is easily goated. Another movie, absolutely twisted, visceral, psychological, gets under your skin. What's in the bag? Oh my God, dude. And then the scratching. Oh my God, dude, scary. There's a J-horror film called Virus. Grande, you seen that one? Yes, I have seen Virus. It's a lot better than the Jamie Lee Curtis American Virus. You read my mind, Iron. Isn't Takashi Miike, sorry, don't know how to spell the name, doing a new movie with Liv Morgan and Charlie XCX? That's right. Yes, he is. Apparently it's in the bag. I've never looked at Piano Wire the same. No, you can't. You really, really can't. Like, it's that fucking damaging. There was a 1990s horror movie called Mimic. I think Mimic might be on here. Grant, I don't know if we're going to get to that one. We may jump around. That may be the best way to go about it, because there's ones that I want to cover that we haven't so far. There was a real vomit. Holy shit. Yeah, it was. It was real vomit, and the actor didn't know. And she really threw up in that bowl. That Bravo horror show you noted is where I first heard about the infamous jump scare from Wait Until Dark. Yes, that was really cool, man. I wish they'd bring something like that back now. That was, I think, the first time I had heard about Blood and Black Lace, which is like my favorite giallo. Ishi the Killer is another messed up Miike movie. The guy knows how to be unhinged. Yeah, that guy don't miss. Like, holy shit. I know you're a big anthology guy. I don't know if you've ever seen Three Extremes. His segment in Three Extremes, Box, is as disturbing as it gets. Audition is great. It just hits hard. It doesn't have easy answers. I haven't seen Audition, but you can tell it had a huge influence on 2000s horror scene. That's where I'm coming from for sure. Audition is such a chore to get through, but I love how gleefully happy she is when she's choking that guy. Goated. Hell yeah. Missy's like, slow, but it's worth the wait, damn it. Let's go through these a little quicker though. I'm gonna I'll go through these. We'll stop for comments every now and again. Let's get some of these on the board because I can see the quality is about to drop here. Alien 3 is a bunch of shit. Granted, the whatever the cut is called, I forget what the fuck the name of it is. It's not like the producer's cut. There's another cut of the movie where the alien comes out of a dog. I forget the legitimate title for that. But that title, that cut's a little bit better. It's probably a C. But man, Alien 3, the theatrical version is a shitty movie. So I would say shitty. Freddy's Dead is god awful. I fucking hate Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead is terrible. Let's try to be Twin Peaks. Let's try to be grunge. Good soundtrack. I like the Voodoo Dolls. I'm awake now. I love that. But my God, like Roseanne and Tom Arnold randomly in there. What the hell? The whole Freddy has a daughter after 6 movies, really, and Freddy's dead. The terrible backstory, the shitty 3D, the power glove. Now I'm playing with power. And Carlos, nice hearing from you, Carlos. To me, that movie is like significant of it was over. Like you cannot make a Nightmare on Elm Street movies after that. You were at the true point of no return, despite advertising yourself as the last movie. And 3 years later, you made another movie. So it's just, I don't know. That movie fucking sucks. Troll 2, the greatest bad movie ever made, in my opinion. I love Troll 2. It's goated. It's goated because it is truly the best of the terrible movies. So Troll 2 goes right in the top for me. That's a Neil Bob, it's Goblin spelled backwards. Oh my God. And then you're going to eat me. Oh no. Oh my God. Dude, so funny, dude. Oh my God. Two Evil Eyes. Dude, you have George Romero and Dario Argento. Like my top 2 favorite horror filmmakers of all time. They come together in Pittsburgh and somehow made this fucking terrible, shitty movie. Like, I hate Two Evil Eyes. I will say, this is not the worst movie of the 1990s in horror, but it is the most disappointing. Like, there's no more disappointing movie on this entire list to me than Two Evil Eyes. Like, what a true disappointment from top to bottom for me. Like, I truly do not like this fucking movie. The Romero segment feels like Murder, She Wrote. And the fucking Argento segment, it's like, it has some potential. It's better than the George one, but man, it's still a fucking mess. I hate Two Evil Eyes. Two Evil Eyes is shitty. Hellraiser 3. See, it's not as good as these movies. No, it's probably around there with Leatherface 3. Yeah, I would say Hellraiser 3 is valid like salad. I'm fine with Hellraiser 3 being valid like salad. I don't mind that one. Let's see. The Dark Half. That's middle of the road. It's not, there's nothing inherently bad about it. Timothy Hutton isn't bad. It's just you wish he could be better. Like I truly think, had they got a Michael Rooker, had they got Gary Oldman, had they got Willem Dafoe, then I think The Dark Half would be a movie that works way better if you had those characters or those actors playing the Thad Beaumont role. Instead, we get Timothy Hutton. He's serviceable, not great. Amy Madigan's very likable. I think, it's funny because I know initially they wanted, Booker. They wanted him to play the lead. Why the hell can I not think of his damn name from fucking Michael Rooker? They wanted Michael Rooker to play the lead, and then they said, no, you can't play the lighter half. And then the irony was he plays the sheriff in the movie, which is the happy, I guess, like not villainous character. So go figure. That's a middle of the road movie. George's direction is good, but the movie around it is kind of sloppily told. It's a very forgettable Stephen King adaptation. Like it's just, and the bird effects at the end are really not great. Bride of Reanimator is shitty. I don't like Bride of Reanimator. It's just the fucking first movie with a quarter of the money, none of the heart. Brian Yuzna is not as good a director as fucking Stuart Gordon. I like Jeffrey Combs a lot. Jeffrey Combs saves it, but it's not a good movie. Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, one that's grown on me a lot. I think it's grown on me a lot. I really like Gary Oldman in this movie. Like Gary Oldman does a really good job as Count Dracula. The makeup is really good in it. Winona Ryder's beautiful. Keanu Reeves is laughably bad. I don't know, man. I think Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula is a movie that's really grown on me over the years. That's a pretty good one. Stephen King's It, total S tier. I think this is a great, great, great movie. Tim Curry steered generations of kids for some of the sequences of horror in this, man. Like him coming out of the drain and him and hiya, Georgie. I don't talk to strangers. Why don't you come? Like so good. And kiss me, fat boy. Well, ha. You know, so good. Tim Curry in this, his performance makes it S tier. Like the ending of the second part when they're adults is not good. The whole second part overall is not very good. Although I do like some of the actors. I like John Ritter. You know, this story works when they're kids. Like Jonathan Brandis, and we're going to make a pact right here and right now that if it ever comes back, we're going to come and beat them together. And then it written on the walls in blood as the guy takes his life because he's too afraid. Oh man, so good. Way better than that terrible remake. But like to me, Tim Curry is the reason that this is an S tier. Like he really. It's one of the all-time great performances in horror movies. Leprechaun. I'm sorry. I think Leprechaun fucking sucks. I know some people really like it, but it's god awful to me. Let's spend some time here on this next two though, because these are the two most impactful and important movies I think that came out throughout the entirety of the 1990s. Of course, from 1996, this is a movie that to me saved the genre. And I know a lot of people want to say, hey, you know, there's no way that, and a lot of people now don't want to admit that Scream made horror movies popular again, right? You know, you hear the people say, oh, it saved the genre. Or you hear the people say, oh, it's overrated. Or you hear the people say, oh, they're stupid. Oh, they're cheesy, whatever. Everybody has an opinion about Scream. It's very, very talked about movie. It's been talked to death at this point, 30 years later this December. I don't know, man. I just cannot really see past the fact that if you look at the horror scene of the 1990s, so the first 5 or 6 years of the 1990s, right? 90 to 96, we have a lot of good movies up there. We put a lot of movies in Val Like Salad or Goated, right? The issue was a lot of these movies did not make a lot of money. Horror wasn't happening. Horror wasn't as popular as it was in the decades leading up to it, the 70s and 80s, respectively. Horror was more popular at those times, and it was swimming with the bigger sharks in the water. But when you got to the 90s, it was like the horror genre was died out. It was just not drawing the same, despite some of these movies being damn good, and despite some of the movies that we've been discussing tonight. Scream made it popular again to go out to the horror movies and see them, right? Like it made people go back to the theaters and watch these movies. It was a movie that spread via word of mouth. It was a movie that had legs. It opened up pretty good, but then as time went on, it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then bam, you had your horror franchise, right? A guy in Wes Craven that had moved the genre along in separate decades, whether it be Last House in the 70s or whether it be The Nightmare on Elm Street in the 80s. It was right here in the 1990s where he moved the genre along. And in turn, you got a ton of ripoffs / copycats / knockoffs that wanted to be like Scream in order to draw and make the money that Scream did. I love the first Scream. I think it's a perfect movie. I really do. I think it's one of Wes Craven's best. I think it's like a Mount Rushmore Wes Craven movie. And I think that, again, there's no denying its impact of the genre, whether you love it or whether you hate it. This is a movie that changed the genre at the time, and I think it was for the better. And it made horror movies popular once again. And that, to me, is a big reason why Scream, even to this day, where you get the sequels that I hate, 5 and 6, and those are for the birds, right? They've milked it dry. They've franchised it dry. They've you know, popcorn buckets and all of it. It's been done to death. It's truly been ruined by the fandom and by the people that keep pushing these movies out like Assembly like. You know, that's the thing that is a shame about Scream. Like it's become a parody in and of itself now. But there's no denying the impact of the original film, in my opinion, and its importance to the genre as a whole. Want to see what you guys have to say though in the chat. Where are we going? That drain scene with Georgie traumatized me for years. No other scene had that much of an impact on me for years. I had to skip it when I watched it. Yeah, it's scary. It's really, it's up there. See, Georgie, now we know each other. We're not strangers anymore. Original It, classic. I'm with you. Leprechaun is Val Like Salad. Are you kidding me? Leprechaun is a cult classic. Holy shit. I think it's the first time ever that Slasher Fred has been like, what, Grande? Fred, I'm sorry. I don't like Leprechaun. I hate Leprechaun. The second one is not good either. I like the third Leprechaun. I like the Brian Trenchard Smith Leprechaun. That's about it. I do not like fucking Leprechaun 1 at all. Hey, you have repeat. So this is, I didn't make this, but I did see that as well. And we're not going to get to all these. I'm going to try to get through just a couple more and we'll call it a night here. Yeah, no, I did notice that too. If I'm eating Scream, on a rating Scream on how good it actually is, I'd say Val like salad, but it has to be goated for the impact. Yes, I like the first Scream. I don't like the sequels. I don't like the only sequel that we would possibly discuss on here is Scream 2, and I'm not big on Scream 2. So I'm with it. I don't mind Scream 3. I think Scream 3 is probably the best of the sequels. But again, it's all about the first movie is by far the best. Rating, no worries. Barely liked the first Scream, no interest in any of the sequels. That's fine. That's totally fine. I think it was really important for the genre, but I could see that. Not a lot of people, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Big Shock was pulling a Psycho and killing their big name in the first 10 minutes, right? The Drew Barrymore, the infamous Drew Barrymore death. Scream was a reboot of the slasher movie because, as said before, yes, they wanted to kind of make it a parody and be self-aware. And this really, it struck a nerve. Scream is good. Sydney is one of my favorite final girls. Love Neve Campbell. Scream had so many actors who were in horror movies like Frances Lee McBain from Gremlins and Linda Blair from The Exorcist. Okay, I like the series, but I give up after 4 or 5 was boring for me. I'm cool up to 4. I can watch them up to 4. Leprechaun 3 is easily the best, and I don't know if that's on here. Also, Blair Witch is shitty. It grew on me a bit, but I still think it's overrated. Okay, Scream killed the final girl in my opinion. Whoa! So some unpopular thoughts on Scream here, but I do love it. I think Scream's great. And let's talk about the other one, the other big horror movie of 1999, The Blair Witch Project, which I would say, and I'm going to put it up in the S tier as well, I would say that there's no movie in the history of this genre or in the history of cinema, period, has grown on me more than the original Blair Witch Project. This is a movie that when I first saw it, I did not care for the Blair Witch Project. Like I was like, no. And you got to keep in mind, I saw it later. I saw it in like the late 2000s. I watched it on the Artisan DVD, right? This is before there was even a Blu-ray out of the movie. I watched it. I just wasn't impressed. Didn't really see what everybody else saw, and I kind of moved on. But there was one thing that stuck with me, and that was the ending. It was that very final shot of the 3 kids in the house and tell me where you are, Josh. Tell me where you are. And then to see the kids standing in the corner, the camera drops and we kind of cut to black. That to me is, even since the first time I watched it, that's such a great ending where it's like, whoa, what happened? What the hell just went down? And that's up to you, like what really went on in this house, the Rustin Parr thing. It was said in the first 5 minutes is almost a throwaway line, and yet that's the last thing we see is the Rustin. She would kill one kid, make the other one stand in the corner. Like, I love that. And then I kept watching it again and again and again. And over time, it's a movie that grew on me so much that I finally got and saw what other people's did. It's one of those movies that really I warmed up to and saw the horror that everyone else did. And I think that this is a movie that, while Scream got people back in the movie theaters and Scream got people going to the cinemas again in the 1990s, it was a movie like Blair Witch Project that made it scary again. It was movies like Ring that made horror movies scary again in the 1990s. Like those are 2 movies that I think are monumental in moving horror from the late 1990s into the early 2000s, because that's where I think a lot of that stuff and that vibe kind of remains. It's in the early half of the 2000s, right? These atmospherical films that really have a good tone to them and vibe. I don't know. I think Blair Witch Project is a fucking masterpiece. I really do. I really think that. Blair Witch changed everything. Not my favorite FF though. No, I totally can understand that. It did change everything. Like to be honest, I was only 2 when the movie came out, but this is a movie that made just $1 million under $250 million fucking dollars. Like, holy shit, man. It's really crazy. The only way I can enjoy Blair Witch is watching it thinking the 2 guys are working together to kill the... Yes, I've heard you say that numerous times. I know a lot of people think that, and they like that, even though I never saw that. But hey, man, people are creative. It's hard to imagine that when Blair Witch came out, there were many fake news reports. Yes, they were kind of advertising to say it was real, and it really wasn't. There was the Blair Witch documentary that came out, which was, people were like, oh my God, these people really died, Regardless of how you feel about Blair Witch, it was a game changer. For a while, it seems like every new mainstream horror film was found footage because of Blair Witch. Yes, and like that's, again, same with Scream. I think they're both are in the exact same umbrella where whether you like them or whether you don't, they change this thing. And that to me is why they're in the column that they're in. And I like both movies a lot too. Although I've been on both sides of the Blair Witch coin. Like I've been on the side of I didn't like it, and then after a while I was like, man, actually, really good freaking movie. The Event Horizon to me, my all-time horror as well. Really? Wow, your all-time favorite horror movie is Event Horizon. That's an interesting call. I'm just not a Blair Witch guy. That's totally fine, man. I was 10 when the movie came out. It was a gigantic deal. Yes, $250 million, man. That's on a budget of like 30,000, and they rented the cameras from a Circuit City. Like, pretty wild. Not my thing, Blair Witch. No, it's not everybody's thing. Apollo 18, better than the Blair Witch. Wow. This man's got the hot takes, if you will. So we've been at this about 2 hours. I'll tell you what, let's look here and we'll see if there's any other ones that you guys want to talk about before we hit the road, because I don't want to waste all your nights here. I could just quickly grab a couple. Good Son is valid like salad. I like the Good Son. So I dragged that one there. Children of the Corn 2, I don't remember. I would just say it was shitty. I don't remember it, though. Body Bags is valid like salad. That's a fun horror anthology. I really like the opening segment with the gas station and oh my God, that's such a fun segment. And I like the Mark Hamill one's good too. The Toby Hooper one with the baseball player in the eye. Return of the Living Dead 3 is really good. I like Melinda Clarke a lot. The Living Dead chick. I like Return of the Living Dead 3. New Nightmare, middle of the road. Just totally middle of the road movie. It has positives. I like the direction it took, but it's not fully realized. It's not fully there. Demon Knight, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, really fun anthology, a perfect kind of cap to the series of Tales from the Crypt. I don't know. I think it's a bunch of fun. It's nice to see that they got a theatrical run here. And obviously there was the Bordello of Blood, which again, I'm not sure is on here, but that's valid like salad for sure. In the Mouth of Madness, dude, more people said this when I asked, what are your favorite horror movies from the 90s than any other movie I put on Instagram. Everybody put this movie. I like In the Mouth of Madness, but I'm probably middle of the road to Val Like Salad. I'll say Val Like Salad just because of all the love it got. Candyman 2 fucking sucks. Farewell to that is a horrible goddamn movie. F plus. I hate it. Tales from the Hood is amazing. Tales from the Hood might go at the top here. I don't know. Yeah, Tales from the Hood would go at the top. I love Tales from the Hood, man. Tales from the Hood's got to be S tier, goated tier movie. Cemetery Man again, which is Species, middle of the road. Natasha Hendricks is hot. Some of the cast is good. Forrest Whitaker, Michael Madsen, Alfred Molina. Good cast, but not a great movie. A lot better than the sequel, though. The Rage Carry 2, I like. Fuck it. Val Like Salad. I like The Rage Carry 2. Big guilty pleasure. Scream 2, middle of the road. I don't like Scream 2 as much as most people. From Dusk Till Dawn, goated movie. Love From Dusk Till Dawn. Easily at the top tier. Probably Robert Rodriguez's best movie for me. Stenhall Syndrome. I know it's going to get me a lot of shit, but I love this movie. Valid like salad. I think Asia Argento's performance in it alone is just tremendous. The Faculty, to me, the best neo horror movie there ever was. I love it. I've reviewed it on the neo horror specials. And by the way, if you guys have liked this show, you can go back and watch the neo horror specials where I talk about 90s neo horror movies. Those are really fun episodes too. Frankenhooker, Val Like Salad, really fun. And we could go on forever. This just gets so tedious after a point. House of Haunted Hill, definitely Val Like Salad, I would say. That's a decent one. Hellraiser Bloodlines, hell no, that's terrible. Texas Chainsaw Next Generation is shitty, but it's funny how shitty it is. Fuck it, I'll give it middle of the road. Urban Legend is fucking terrible. I don't care what anybody says. The Craft is valid. And any other ones here? I Know What You Did Last Summer is middle of the road. Okay, let's get back to. I've been skipping comments though. Let's see. Where were we? Blair Witch paved the road for found footage marketing ever since. Absolutely. Demon Knight Grande. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, these shows just run so damn long. I'll have to do, maybe we'll review Demon Knight and Bordello Blood on a future show. Body Bags Valid Like Salad for me for sure. Yeah, I agree. I think it's Valid Like Salad for sure. Hate Blair Witch, all caps. Children of the Corn 2 is fun. I barely remember Children of the Corn 2, so I can't say. What up, J to the G? Knicks lose. Mets regain the lead after blowing a 6-run lead. NY Giants select Reese and Francis. Steelers select Max. Oh, that's a hell of a last name, but it's an offensive tackle, which I was feeling. Body Bags might have the best wraparound in anthology horror history. Yes, John Carpenter in the morgue. So fun, man. Love John Carpenter. Demon Knight, Val Like Salad, Sam Neill. Yep, In the Mouth of Madness is great. Madness is top tier. Tales from the Hood, absolutely goated. One of the best anthologies of all time. The stories are still relevant today. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think Tales from the Hood is great. Like my favorite, I always like the David Allen Greer segment the best. I think that's just so how this kid sees his dad as a monster. We did a whole episode of retrospective of all the Tales from the Hood movies. I like Candyman 2. I despise Candyman. I think Candyman 2 might be the worst one. Nah, maybe the remake. I don't know. It's up there. Carrie 2 is dope. Whale harpoons. Right. That's right. 13 cats. I got a cool red VHS of Carrie 2. It's pretty cool. Dusk Top. Steelers just took a tackle. Okay, that's what we thought. Stenhall is Val Like Salad, very underrated. Argento. I'm with you. I think it's very underrated. Hell yeah. Faculty is a fun movie. Has a young Elijah Wood. Has a great cast. Yeah, Jordana Brewster, Josh Hartnett, Bamke Jansen, Jon Stewart. Really crazy cast. Aja Argento and performance are two parallel lines that never cross. Yeah, it's Aja's biggest fan is Mateo. Popcorn is valid. Okay, so some more people mentioned in the movies down here. Yeah, I'm with that. Popcorn is valid. I think this is a movie that I think was shot in the 80s, didn't get released till 91. And then somebody mentioned Exorcist 3, which is really good. I don't think it's goated like most people. It's valid. That would be another one that's valid to me. Exorcist 3 top as good or better than the original. Yeah, no, I don't think that's even too wild of a take. I would say it's valid. I'd say it's like an A. I think it's an A picture for sure. AK Legion. I think you might need to do part 2 90s. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I just feel like we'll be here 5 hours if I did all these and gave them all the proper time. Like, look, these are all the movies I still didn't talk about. Like, insane. But yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's do, before we go, let's pick a top 10 out of this S tier goated row. So I would say, and in no particular order, we're just going to pick 10 of these movies. Let's go Misery. Let's go The Faculty. Let's go Audition. Let's go Scream. Let's go Blair Witch. Let's go From Dusk Till Dawn, The Faculty. That's my top 7. Man, this is tough. I don't know. That's my top 7. 10 is too hard. That would be my top 7 of the 90s that we discussed here tonight. But I don't know about like what order specifically. Yeah, no, this is fun. These are always fun. I like to do these. These fly by. I can't believe we've been here for 2 freaking hours, man. Holy shit, it fucking flies by. On a little bit of a time limit tonight because things going on. But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. Obviously, if you guys are catching the replay, comment down below. Let me know some of your favorite 1990s horror movies. Next week on Grande's Graveyard, just a brief little nudge or headline for next week is Overrated versus Underrated Horror Volume 6. The first episode we've done of that in a year, so I'm very excited for that. The trash can of fuck and the goated mug of Grande's Graveyard will be brought out. My favorite show to do of this, so I'm very excited for that. And like I said, if you guys are catching this on the replay, comment down below and let me know what you think of some of these 90 pictures that we talked about. Let's see. Number 1, Tales from the Hood. Okay, number 1, Tales from the Hood. That's cool. I like this because everyone here would have a different ranking probably. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want to hear from all you guys, but then it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go 5 hours. Like, I don't know. Great shit, Grande, as always. Only. Thank you so much, Black Gloves. I appreciate that, my friend. Iron Sabbath, good time. See you, Grande. Dude, thank you so much for watching, as always. Thank you all. And one last thing, the schedule for May will be dropped on this coming Sunday. So the May schedule will come this Sunday at noon. Stay tuned for it. And if I don't see you until then, we will catch you next time only on the Graveyard 2 Sweet Peace. Good night, everybody. Cheers.